Hey guys, Paige and Nathan here from Open Source Gamers. Tonight we're doing a one night in Karazhan card review. We're a little bit late, but we had some technical difficulties.
Yeah.
So without further ado, let's explain how we're going to rank the cards. As you can see in the screen, we have a number system from 1 through 5. So, although it should be reasonably self-explanatory, I'll just explain it anyways. So, anything I rank a 1 is basically on the level of
Dr. Boom.
basically, yes, Dr. Boom.
Yeah.
It's generic, it's extremely powerful, and you can throw it into most decks within a class or as a neutral card, of course, Dr. Boom.
Yeah.
Number 2 is a card that's very powerful, but generally doesn't work with everything.
But still
Number
competitive.
3 is a card that's playable, but requires a lot of work to get it there. And number 4 is just barely functional, and number 5 is, well, it's purified.
We should have made it Purify, but yeah, we'll leave for now. Purify ranking. Also, with Arena,
Anyways,
we'll mention which cards are good in Arena as well. 3 is normally Arena cards too. You'll see that when we go through the
yep,
reviews.
and
So.
also, as you can see, we created a build-around ranking too. This is to help everyone see what cards really just require a very specialized deck to be
Yeah,
really good.
yep. So, and then there's standalone, which ones that don't have build run on it will just be standalone cards that work well by themselves. All right. So yeah, the first
All right,
card.
so without further ado,
We'll start the first
let's
card.
introduce
I'll be doing the
the
reviews first.
Enchanted Raven.
I'll be doing the reviews first, and then Cage will doing it second. You'll see a review for me, and you'll see a review for Cage. All right. The first card is, yep, Enchanted Raven. It's a 1-mana 2/2 beast. My ranking is good. I think this is going to be a pretty standard card in Beast Druid. You know, it's a 1-mana 2/2, which is pretty good. In the Mark of Siraj with it, it's like 4/4 for like 2 mana, so it's pretty powerful. So not much to say about this card. It's a standalone card. It's not really a build-around card because it does just fit in Beast Druid. And I think Beast Druid will be a thing after this set. Over to you, Cage.
I would rank this about good. It's a lot of what you said is true. It's great for Beast Druid. Another thing that's important to note is that in about January or so, we're going to see Living Roots rotate out of the metagame, and this card is effectively going to replace it. It's not quite as powerful, so I didn't quite rank it a run because, unlike Living Roots, which can be useful in the late game as 2 damage, this card's kind of a dead draw without the Beast synergy. But it's overall extremely powerful in a Beast Druid deck and the Beast synergy, and it also really helps power up Nazari Warden if you, say, have Morkash Raj on it and then you throw her down.
Yeah, that's
It's going to
true.
be pretty effective.
Yep. All right, over to the next card.
And the next card we have is Kindly Grandmother.
Grandmother. This is oh sorry, my review come up already. But yeah, this card's just amazing. It's sort of like the Haunted Creeper. You know, it's a similar sort of stats. It's sticky. It's hard to get rid of. You don't want to trade into it. If they buff it or have any sort of synergy with it. With with your 3-mana Animal Companion, you can play this and then Animal Companion and get the 2/4 off it, and it buffs it by 1. And then it's a really good trade, and then you get 3/2, and then you play Houndmaster the following turn. So it's really good curve card. So I see this as a card that's going to be in every single mid-range hunter deck. Over to you, Cage.
I'd definitely rank this a 1. It's, like I said, it's a Haunted Creeper, but it's so important for Hunter because Hunter, they don't have any sources of card draw, so it's really important for Hunter to hit on curve every turn, especially against aggressive decks. And this card really helps in that regard because you can't get rid of it. The 3/2 is also a beast, and it's perfect for buffing and triggering those critical beast cards that Hunter needs. It's also a death rattle card, so if you're looking to do this off, this card's definitely a nice inclusion.
Yep.
Overall, it's definitely a 1.
Yep. That's amazing. It's an amazing card. All right, over to the next card. The next card we have is Firelands Portal. This card was hard to evaluate. But it's sort of like Call of the Wild a little bit because it's one of them ones that affect the board straight away. You deal 5 damage and summon something, so it's a really big tempo card. The average 5-drop is about 4 mana, 4/5, like a Yeti stats. So you're dealing 5 damage, deal 5. So you're getting about 8 mana value overall off the spreadsheet. We haven't got the spreadsheet here, but about 8 mana value for a 7 mana card. I can see it going in Reno Mage. I can see it going in Control Mage and Tempo Mage. So there's a lot of uses for this. It's going to be. I think you're going to see this card a lot. But that's pretty much my review on it. Over to you, Cage.
Yeah, it's definitely a one. I mean, aside from the obvious insanity power level this thing has, and it's if you think about a lot of cards we have in the game, cards that kill something and then play a minion all in one shot have always been huge tempo swings, hugely powerful cards.
Yeah, so
And
call
another
call the
thing to
wild is
consider
like
is
that.
that this combines with a lot of spell cards we're getting in the set, especially Medivh. If you have that on the board, you'll get a 7 cost minion. You kill
And,
something and get something off of that,
oh yeah,
it'll
that's
just snowball the game way out
and you
of
don't have to
control. So
wait
this
waste a
card's
board clear as well because it's the same cost as Flame Strike, but in them decks, especially Reno, you can have this and Flame Strike because sometimes you don't
this is
really need to Flame
definitely a
Strike a
big
whole
card
board.
for Reno.
And yeah, so that's there's Cage ranking there as well, which is excellent. Both of ours are the same there. There are different rankings as we go along. We don't all have the same rankings, but you'll see that in a second. All right, next card is Ivory Knight. This was another hard card to evaluate. This is I don't see this being a great card because of the stats. It's too slow. It is Discover a Spell and Restore Health. The only deck I may see it playing in is maybe Murloc Paladin because they can get anything to happen. But Murloc Paladin's a bad deck, so like it's just I just think it's too clunky. I don't think if N'Zoth Paladin really wants this, they got Forbidden Healing in that. So terrible in Arena as well. So I feel like this card's just not good enough right now. Maybe in future sets it might be better. That's my thoughts on the card. And what do you ever think about it, Cage?
Well, it's interesting. I mean, you're discovering a spell and then you're restoring health equal to that, and you're putting a body on board. It's an interesting card. I only rank it a 3, but in a Reno deck where you got a lot of stuff you have to cram in, you might want more healing. This might see play maybe in a Reno deck, but that's really the only place I can see this card being any good. And even then, I'm not really sure about that. But I think that it has some reasonable potential in a Reno deck to see some play maybe. So I'm gonna call it about
Yeah. All right. All right. Over to the next card. We have a Threadril Peddler. Now this is a cool card. I like when Blizzard put these cards because it makes you really think about it's a build around card, but it just takes Rogue in a different direction. Now I've rated this good because I think it could be a deck like you got Burgle now, and you got this new 1 mana card which we haven't showed you yet, but we'll get to that. It's definitely gonna be one I'm gonna experiment with. It could be the stats are really good on the card. So 5 mana 5/6 is Pit Fighter stats, which is pretty good. So if you can play this on curve and then you can get 2 cards reduced from it, you should be getting really good value. It's a really hard card to evaluate because we still might have enough, but I'm going to give it a good rating because I think it's playable. I don't think it's an excellent card, but I think it's playable and it might spawn a new rogue deck. But we'll just have to see what happens. Over to you, Cage.
Well, this card is pretty interesting. We in later set we'll show another card that goes along with this, but overall I only ranked this a 3, and the reason I rank it only a 3 is because Rogue doesn't have a lot of healing, and they don't have a lot of tools that are super strong against aggressive decks right now. And this is sort of a card that pushes the deck in a direction that makes it worse in that situation. And I feel that even though we have that new card and we have Undercity Huckster, but the two of them alone doesn't feel like it's enough value with the power disc card. You have to run Burgle, and then when you have running Burgle, your deck is becoming a little bit too clunky. So I think this card can only really be a 3 at best. I feel like it's one of those sort of archetypes and strategies that no matter how hard you push for it, it's not going to work out well because there's not enough slots in the deck to make it work, and it takes up and competes with valuable cards that you have to run anyways.
Yeah, it's a good
So I
flavor
think it,
card
it should
though
be above
because
me.
it's a good flavor card.
I
Puts
really like the card overall, though, and I
because
like the effect.
because
I'm
it
going to play
puts
around with
Rogue
it
in,
a little bit.
probably puts Rogue in a new direction. I like when Blizzard print a card that makes you build around it and puts it in a different direction, like a whole new deck. Yeah, that makes I love deck creating, so does Cage. So we could have it's really good for us. We can sometimes see things other people don't see. So yeah. Anyway,
I
I think
definitely want to play around with it and see what I can make work with it.
over to the next card. The next card we have is Barnes. Now this is one of my favorite cards in the set. To me,
Definitely.
this is an excellent card. This is so many combos. You got N'Zoth. You've also got one thing I found out last night is Resurrect. You can play Resurrect with it because you can play Barnes, and then the one you trade in, you can actually Resurrect for 4 You can silence off your own minion. There's a combo with Malygos. You can play like a spell deck with Yogg maybe, or just maybe not even Yogg. You just play a spell deck, and then you get Malygos out for 4 Or on turn 10, you play Barnes, Malygos, bang, 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 combo deck. They're dead. So there's so much build around with this card. So I see this card a lot. I see this card in the meta going to be there a lot. It's a risky card to print. I feel like Blizzard's taking a big risk here because if they can consistently get Malygos to come out in a spell deck that's strong enough, like maybe Mage, you go Ice Block. I feel like it's a dangerous card to print because it could be broken in that sense. You could be if you can get Malygos say like 80% of the time, and you can just OTK people from like 60 health. That's gonna be very very powerful, isn't it? So that's my thoughts on the card. I love the card. I love the design again by Blizzard. And yeah, over to you, Cage.
This card is really interesting. I only ranked it 2 because this card requires some effort to unlock its full power. I don't feel it can be thrown into every deck ever. It'd be excellent. But this card, this is our newest combo card, basically. Just like Emperor Thoris, and this card's going to enable all sorts of things. So many things, it's probably too many for me to even list. And this card is probably going to see a lot of relevant play. It's going to bring forth a lot more combo decks. And who knows what could come from this. It's definitely a card to keep an eye on. And definitely a great card.
All right, over to the next card. We're going through these pretty quickly. Curator. This card's awesome. Another cool design by Blizzard. It pushes a sort of new direction again. You know, like having a beast, dragon, and murloc from your deck. It's just a cool card. You know, you can use it as tutoring as well. A tutor effect is like effect where you can guarantee to get. Say you have one dragon in the deck. Say Malygos deck, the one we are just talking about before. You can just have Malygos in the deck and guarantee to draw Malygos every time. That's a very powerful effect because if you can guarantee every game to draw your combo card, that it can work with Alistraza too. Maybe Freeze Mage or something. Now, Freeze Mage is not a great deck right now, but the ability to draw Alex or draw Malygos every turn to play as a tutor effect. And this is a great Reno card as well, you know. So you've got so many. It's another card like Barnes. It could fit in a lot of decks. I think Drew could play this to draw maybe. I'm not sure about maybe Yogg Druid because you know they can have Azure Drake and then Beast, and then you can play the Curator instead of playing maybe one Nourish or something because Nourish is kind of a clunky card. But yeah, I love this card. I gave this card excellent as well. It seems like a lot of decks can run this. And yeah, what are your thoughts on this, Cage?
Well, this card is definitely a 1. We don't have a lot of searching effects in Hearthstone, and when you have a search card, it creates a serious amount of consistency where you can make your deck do its job more efficiently and more effectively across the board. And this card can really work for a deck that might be running a Murloc, might be running a Beast, might be running Dragon, might be running all 3, and I can really see it happening in a Reno deck because on Reno, you only can run one of each type, so you might be running like a Finley, you might be running like a Stampeding Kodo, you might be running like an Azure Drake or a Higher Dragon, and this can sort of fetch all those for you in one shot. And it also has Taunt, so it really helps shore up a lot of things in that area. So I would definitely consider this an excellent card.
Yep.
And also something to be noted, it's a mech. I don't know how much that's going to actually hold, especially in Wild, but it is a mech, so they added that on top of it. There's a lot
Yeah,
going on with this
it's
guy.
interesting because you got a Beast, Dragon, Murloc, and Mech in one card. That's awesome. That's a pretty cool thing when you think about that because it has all them synergies in one card.
I've never seen this many synergies in a single card
Yeah, it's
before.
it's a very good design. A very good design. Blizzard's got some really well designed cards in this set. All right, over to the next card. The next card we have is
It is
this
Melkazar's
one.
Imp.
Yeah, I have trouble pronouncing this one, so I'll let Cage pronounce this one. Malkazar's Imp, I think. Did I get that right?
That's correct. Melkazar's Imp.
That's a cool design as well. So it's a 1 minute 1/3. Whenever you discard a card, draw a card. Uh, Discard Warlock has never really been a thing. This might just fit in Zoo just enough. You've already got Soulfire and Zoo. You've already got Doomguard. 1/3 stats are good. It buffs up well. I think I gave a rating good on this one. It's not excellent card because discard. You don't kind of want to discard your cards. But if you discard something really good, then it makes your matchups worse. There is another card. The reason why we gave this good is because there's another card in the set which probably goes with this card, but we're not sure how good that card will be, how consistent it'll be. It's just a great card on its own too. It is a build around card, but it is not a bad 1/3. 1 minute 1/3 is a pretty good stat. So that's pretty much all I've got to say about the card. What are your thoughts, Cage?
I'm going to rank this a 2 as well. It's, again, one thing to be noted about discard themes in general is a full discard theme deck I don't see being possible for the same reason it's not really possible with Rogue. There's not enough deck slots. It's too linear and it doesn't feel strong. But in like a Zoo deck, this card, it's a 1 mana 1/3, so it's already irritating in that regard. But it'll break you even for discard effects. It can make Soulfire not feel as bad if you feel like running Soulfire over Power Overwhelm, or both if you really want it. And, you drop Doomguard with this guy, and you'll draw back the 2 cards with discarding. But at the same time, you can discard something really good, and all you're doing at best is breaking even. So it's not quite a 1, but it's a pretty good card.
Yep.
Also noteworthy, it's a demon, so there could be some synergy involving that.
Yeah, more demon cards are better, especially for Warlock. We haven't met many demons in the last set. It's a couple in this set, so.
Yeah, Warlock's pushing pretty far away from demons.
All right, over to the next card. Next card we have is Babbling Book. I love this card because it thinks of me because it talks all the time, just like me, but it babbles all the time. But it's very
You
true.
do
My friends
babble a
will say
lot.
that to me. But no, it's sort of like Web Spinner. Like when I looked at this card first, Web Spinner was like everyone's like, oh, this card's gonna be really bad when Web Spinner first came out before Standard. It was a one win out of the beast. Now to me, adding a random mage spell is probably better than adding a beast because adding a beast is more random. Adding mage spells, there's not many bad mage spells. Maybe like 10% of bad mage spells, 90% good ones, and a
Well, most
lot
of
of
the
them can be
bad ones
used.
came from PvP and the X-Ramus, and those are gone now.
So
So
like a lot of the spells are good. We got Firelands Portal in this set. Like you wouldn't care if you play this, get Firelands Portal. And the amazing thing about this card, you can play it with Bram, but also you can play it late game. Like you wouldn't care if you play this on turn 8, right? Because you could get Flame Strike, you could get Blizzard, you could get something that could really help you in the situation. It's good early game and it's good late game, and it works really well with Reno Mage, Control Mage, and I think with all the control, I feel like Control Mage could be a strong deck now because we've seen a lot of cards of Medivh, we haven't showed you Legendary yet, that just makes Control Mage really powerful deck, I think, in this next expansion. I gave this excellent. I mean, pretty obvious choice there. Just so many uses for the card, versatility as well. Over to you, Cage.
So this card is obviously excellent. One thing to really take off is that let's compare it to a card with similar stats that put something into your hand. Novice Engineer. For 1 mana less, you're getting a mage spell, and mage spells are all they have the strongest spells in the game. So you're getting a mage spell into your hand for 1 mana, and mage has all these cards that trigger with spells. So this card is just adding fuel to that fire, and it's absolutely insane in that regard. It allows mage to extend its reach even further than it already can. It allows you, and of course, it's got a body, so you're putting a body down, you're adding a mage spell to your hand. It's a 1 mana, put something into your hand immediately card.
The question that I asked a lot of people, would you play a mage spell that was 1 mana without the body and just said add a mage spell to your hand? I think a lot of people would. Because a 1 mana spell that you just add a card to your hand is just cycling a card. And this is even better because you get the body and it can trade with like Flame Imp.
I
You
could
play this turn
potentially see
1,
that.
Flame
Like, if
Imp
it was like
goes
a
face, you
spell
ping and trade
form,
Flame Imp. And the thing is, you can trade into a 3/2 with this, which makes it even better because you mage hero power. So it's really good. It's like, a lot of control decks don't
the
want to play
body
Mana
looks
Worm.
bad, but it's a little bit more intimidating than it looks in the same way with Web Spinner, where the Web Spinner can become more relevant than it appears
Yeah, and
because it's already replaced itself, so now it's just making a nuisance of
having
itself.
this with Bran is just an amazing combo too, because it's not that hard to combo off. Because Bran, you can play Bran with this on turn 4, and it's a pretty powerful tempo play as well. You got Bran on the board, you gotta get rid of your Bran. You got 2 spells to your hand, which is huge. It's like the
And
spell
it's a
sling and
very cheap
reflect,
four
but you don't
mana,
give them
and
the
if you
spell.
drop 2 spells in your hand and then put a 1/1 and 2/4 for it,
It
that's
makes it, yeah, it makes Bran maybe Battlecry a major thing. I'm not sure on that because you got a lot of Battlecry. You got early game Battlecry, and you got you got the 5 mana, Pedro, Thestral. I can't even think of that name. Don't ask me
yeah,
about that.
the
We're starting to get
ethereal
some theory, yeah, and not the peddler
an
card. I'm thinking of the
ethereal
mage
conjurer.
conjurer. That's
But
the
yeah,
one,
it's
yeah.
ethereal.
And then you got lots of
Yeah,
cards that
this
got
card
Battlecry and Mage now, so you're getting starting to get a good curve going. So you might be able to like curve out really well
we're
and just
getting closer to
the
Battle
value
Cry
Mage
Mage.
as well. I think this could be a value Mage deck. You outvalue your opponent. Grinder Mage fits in a lot of them decks, and they're not really around right now, but it pushes that
It's really
archetype.
just an all around good mage card. You
So
can throw in almost
did you give you a
anything.
rating on that one, Cage? I didn't see if you heard that
Yeah,
one.
I rate that excellent.
Excellent. Yep. All right. So there we go. Yeah, both excellent here. It's a pretty obvious choice. Over to the next car. We babbled about that one a bit there. About that car, we were babbling about it a
We
little bit.
babbled about the babbling book. Yep, that just happened.
Oh, that was
That
awesome.
just happened.
All right, over to the next card. All right, Bookworm. Now, when I first seen this card, I thought this card's quite cool, and I was like, oh, we haven't really got enough Dragons energy with it, and like Dragon decks are kind of not really in the meta right now. Like the text says, if you're holding a Dragon, destroy an enemy minion with 3 or less attack. So really, it's a 6 mana 3/6 with Shadow Pain attached to it. That's exactly how it works. So like 3/6 is worth 4 mana. So it is pretty well statted when you think about it. So Shadow Pain's worth 2, 3/6 is worth 4 mana. But you got to remember it's combined into one card, so it's worth more when you combine 2 effects into one card. It's a dragon itself, and we didn't have any 6 drops dragons. And the new paladin card they got, which we'll be talking about soon, makes this card a 2. It was a 3, and I put it up to a 2 because of the new dragon card that paladin's getting. So it's pretty much all my thoughts on the card. Over to you, Cage.
Yeah, this card is really interesting, and when I was thinking about dragons, I was thinking about Dragon Priest. I thought, no, Blizzard is going to give us a good Dragon Paladin card. That's never going to happen. But it turned out we got one, and there's a big implication involving this and Paladin's removal. Now, like Stampede and Coda, we see that played a lot with some slower Paladin decks that basically reduce them to 1 and outright kill it. Well, this is even better because you can control what you're killing easier, and most importantly, it's also a dragon and fills out that curve with Paladin a lot better. Also, you can reduce this by 2, and then when you do that, this card becomes absolutely insane if it starts costing 4. So this card helps fill out Paladin. I think it's a really strong way for Paladin to clear out nuisance cards. So I originally said it at 3, but no, it's definitely a 2 now.
Yep.
It's much better than I anticipated.
Yep. All right, that's pretty much everything on that card. We'll move our next card.
Okay. Now we have Morose.
Morose. Now, I was looking at other reviews on this card. A lot of pros were saying this card was terrible, but what do you think about this card? It's a very hard card to evaluate, Wayne, but it's sort of like the 4-mana Warlock card, Jared Steve, where you can have heaps of 1/1s. If you can keep the stealth and have it buffed and have stealth, you just got unlimited 1/1s for the game.
It's
and
somewhat like
not many
Dread
classes.
Steed. I compare it to Imp Master myself.
Yeah, it's sort of like Imp Master. The combo I come up with last night, I was thinking of a really good combo is Dark Speaker. That card's not used right now, but this could be a cool combo. Like you play this 3 coin out Dark Speaker, have a 3/6 Morose, which they're gonna cry when you see that. It's a card you got to play around, but gave this card excellent because of the effect. The effect is having a stealth minion. Not every class can deal with it. A lot of people were saying that Ravaging Ghoul, if they play this and then you drop Ravaging Ghoul, it's a bad card, but you won't mind that. They play 3-mana kill your 3-mana card, but then you can start reload. Then they can't use Ravaging Ghoul on your other minions. Like if you're playing Paladin, there's a lot of tokens. It could also work in Token Druid as well, because it Power of the Wild. You play this Power of the Wild, you won't be that sad about it. Having more tokens could be a good thing. Yeah, so that's pretty much the thoughts on the card. Still has to be tested, but I think it's an excellent card. This is a good card. I didn't rate it excellent, as good as Cage in this sense, because there's a few little things. I gave this a good rating.
Yeah,
and,
I ranked
over
this
to Cage.
as well. There's a lot to talk about this card.
I think you rated this excellent. I think you rated this one excellent, but can't remember. Anyway, keep going. Sorry.
Can summon this guy, and then he has stealth, and he'll be perfectly as he is summoned for cards. You don't have to do anything to modify him. The big thing about this card is its implications for Paladin and Divine Shield Paladin specifically. It's a 1/1, it has stealth. Yeah, your opponent can board clear it, but if they're spending an entire board clear to kill that one card, they're basically wasting their turn.
Yeah.
When you play this guy, it puts out a dude for you every turn. You can combo that with your hero power. You can combo that to give it Divine Shield. You can easily buff anything, because now you're always going to have something on board to hit with your buff spells.
It works sort of like not Master for Battle, but Paladin likes having tokens. It works really well on Paladin, Blessing of Kings, Keep of Alderman. Not a lot of...
Yeah, it works.
And you got that 3-mana card that makes it Divine Shield. You could give it this Divine Shield would be unbelievable. Imagine this card with Divine Shield, though.
Buff card Paladin has, so it's super important to keep that in mind, because it triggers.
Could also see aggro Paladin using this too, because having more tokens.
Yeah, I can see that happening too, because now, like turn 4, like you're guaranteed a blessing crap. Because they're not. You drop it turn 3, turn 4, you're going to be able to bless something, and they're not going to be able to stop it.
Oh, you see, this was good. Sorry, so I had the ranking wrong on this card. I was thinking of a different card. Yeah, this card's good. We both gave this good. I was thinking of a different card. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for Moras. We'll move over to the next card.
All right, Prince Melkazar.
Now, this is an interesting. A lot of other pro reviewers reviewed this card, and they just didn't see what we've seen on this card. So when the game starts, add 5 extra legendaries to your minions to deck. And now this is after Mulligan phase. It's been confirmed it's after Mulligan phase. So you can still have your nice curve with your 2 drops, your 3 drops, your 4 drops, whatever you want for your curve. To me, when I first seen this card, the 5 extra legendaries are one-ofs, and they can't be the same card in your deck. So if you have like if you have Brand, you can't have a second copy of Brand, so it works perfect in Reno decks, because this is the card that Reno really needed, because it makes Reno, guarantee Reno to still work, because it still, every time will go up, because they're one-offs. And it doesn't mean you have to play as many legendaries in a Reno deck, and you can have more early game, which makes the deck more consistent. Now, people are saying it dilates your deck, but I see it differently. I see it as like actually helps your deck because you can actually it doesn't dilate your deck because you replace the 5 extra legendaries with 5 extra early game cards to help against aggro, and then you've still got the late game. You can still play Elise in the same deck as well, so you can still have the Elise combo if you want to. I feel like this will replace Elise in a lot of Reno decks. And it could also be good in like a fatigue warrior, not like it's a deck right now, but a fatigue deck because with the 5 extra cards, I think 5 extra would be like 30 extra damage in fatigue you save. And even mage, there's a lot of decks I think this can run in. So I gave this on excellent. I think it's a fantastic card for the game. Good flavor card as well. Over to you, Kedge.
Yeah, I rank this excellent as well. This card, a lot of people, like they say, yes, it dilutes your deck, but you have to remember that if you're running this, you're running it like an Elise Warrior, and you're basically, or any deck where Elise wasn't even that feasible, because let's take a look at like Classic Control War. You're running like 6 to 7 legendaries in the deck. Well, you can just take all those out now and throw him in instead, and replace those with early game cards. So you're diluting your deck, but at the same time, you're replacing those cards with early slots. So it ends up basically balancing itself out. And for a Reno deck, this is an important card because Reno has trouble balancing itself against everything across the board. And this card helps you because this one card can add 5 threats into your deck, and then you can add more stuff. Because especially in standard with Reno, the big problem is that Reno was a lot of its power comes from wild cards like Implosion and we had Dark Bomb and Zombie Child. There's a lot of stuff like that that we don't have in standard. So to wake up for that, you need even more early game than you had before. And this helps you accomplish that while not sacrificing your late game completely.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all I can say about the card. It's like I said, you could probably just play this in Elise, and that's enough because the legends you get. I mean, there is some bad ones out there, but you can play maybe Sylvanas as well. But you don't need to play that many, and you won't get a copy of the other one.
The
So
vast majority of them are pretty good. And exactly, you don't get a copy of them. So it's guaranteed to not mess this up. And that's important.
I I feel like control best control matchups. And again, Reno. One thing about Reno, like they tap so much, they kind of want extra cards in their deck because they're gonna get through a lot more quicker than other classes. So having extra deck means they won't go fatigue as quick as well, which is actually a big advantage in that deck as well. Because sometimes they lose on fatigue because they go through their deck so quickly. So I
I've been
mean,
down that road before. And then you have cards like Doom too, which draw you a
yeah,
bunch of cards. So it helps counterbalance, lets you throw in more removal, it just lets you do more.
yep. Anyway, enough about Prince. So we'll move on to the next card. The next card we have,
All right.
that was weird. Um, I don't know what happened
What
there,
happened?
but Protect the King. This is a cool card. I like another cool flavor card. You know, it's like the chess piece. You know, like a pawn for each
I
enemy.
just love the artwork of this card.
Yeah, for each enemy minion, summon a 1/1 pawn with taunt. And a lot of people didn't give this the rating I think it deserves as well because against like someone like Zoo, they hate having 1/1 taunts. They might have to run like 5 attack into a 1/1, which in a sense you're gaining 5 heal. So if you have 3 minions, you play this at 3 mana. It's like 3 mana get 3/1/1 taunts. It's actually not that bad. And it might give you a health gain. It's a health gain card, and it's again like game Reno card. I think it's a fantastic Reno Warrior card as well. I think Reno Warrior could be a thing after this. It's got enough cards to be good. Yeah, so this is a good card. Not excellent because it's not like it's tier like Doctor Boom level, but it's going to be playable. Yeah, so a good card.
Yeah,
Over you,
so
Catch.
this card's pretty good. This is one of those more control-y warrior cards. It's not like meant for a lot of the warrior archetypes we have on standard right now, but it really helps to fill out and stabilize yourself against aggressive decks. With a lot of slower warrior decks we're having a great deal of trouble doing right now. I like to think of it as Warriors Unleash the Hounds, basically. It's
Yeah,
overall just a solid card in general, and that's its real purpose. That's about all I can really say about it.
yeah, it's a pretty easy card to evaluate. Over to the next card. All right. This is a cool. This is a card that took a little while to think about.
Yeah,
First,
we have
Karazhan.
Karazhan.
It's a pretty cool card. Summon a 1/1 candles, 2/2 Brim, and a 3/3 T-Bar. I love that. It's awesome flavor as well. First one I thought about was like, so you're getting 5 mana 6/6 stats, like Silverhand Knights, a 5 mana 6/6 as well, but you get a 4/4 and a 2/2. So this is all split up. This is works really good with Cho'Gall. You know, this is the biggest combo. You play this in a Reno deck, you play Cho'Gall, you play this, now Cho'Gall can actually be used as a tempo card, not just a behind come from behind card. Like the board's even, and then you play Cho'Gath with this. That's a lot of stats in one turn, and you only lose 5 heal, which 5 health's not too bad for what you're getting out of it. So let's see this as a Reno card. I rate this card good because of that. I think this is going to fit perfectly in the Reno lock and maybe even Zoo. I'm not sure on Zoo. It's a little bit iffy on Zoo, but it is better than Forbidden Ritual on 5. Maybe one of in Zoo. Maybe you can experiment in Zoo with it. Because having that ability to reload your board in Zoo could be enough
I
to play it.
suppose it's possible to see it in Zoo,
But more Reno
maybe.
lock for me, and that's the reason why I give it a good rating. Over to your ranking, Cage.
I originally had this card as 3, but I bumped it up to 2 for one of the same reasons. It works well in Arena Lock, but also one thing to consider is it's also a super powerful card in Arena as well. And there's, of course, that occurrence bonus on top of that. So this card, it's not something I'd ever run through in a deck. So in Reno, you just want some board presence. You throw it down; it'll give you what you want, and it's broken up too, so it helps you combat faster decks and gives you some more firepower to work with.
There's other synergies which I just thought about now. Your Knife Trigger is really powerful with this card too. I think Knife Trigger play this as 3 knives.
Juggler. Another synergy to consider. I just realized too is Darkshire Councilman.
Yeah, so it may fit in Zoo. We don't know about that. We got to experiment within Zoo because Zoo could easily cut one card and put this in. I think and maybe a 5 drop or they play
Yeah,
a bit
there's a
iffy
lot of
cards, maybe
room for
Sea
that.
Giant or something. Like a lot of people don't run that anymore. Like it could be enough to play one Forbidden Neutral, one of this, or experiment with it because it could be some really good combos. This with that card, Dark Soul Councilman is just unbelievable. It's really powerful. When you get a board, if they clear your board and you play this, it's a lot easier. You got a 3/3, a 2/2, and a 1/1. It's a bit awkward for your opponent
There's
to get in with.
also one more thing to consider, and that's the 1 mana 1/1 for Warlock that becomes a 5/5 when Reliquary Seeker. That's it. When you have Reliquary Seeker, you can just play this so that you have like 4 or like 3 minions. You can just like, play this, and then you can drop her for 6
Yeah.
total, and it's pretty good value in that regard. Because there's a bunch of little
So
combos like
there's a
that.
few combos with it. It's a cool card, and yeah, pretty much everything about Karazhan. Good card. All right, moving on to the next card. The next card we have is good one to Pompous Thespian. I think the pronunciation's correct there. It's gonna be really quick.
Pompous Thespian.
Pretty easy review on this one. It's a 2 mana 3/2. It's arena card. It's probably a little bit above tier in arena because a 2 mana 3/2 is alright, but having the taunt might help you a little bit. Can't see any playing. Whoops, we had something happen there. Yeah, I rate this card decent because it's more arena card. It's not really a constructed card. Can't see any deck. Maybe Zoo runs it. It feels awkward in Zoo. I feel like no one can cut. No, it's just arena card. 2 mana
This just
3/2.
feels awkward constructed
Yeah, so
overall.
it's just an arena card. A common 2/3/2 taunt arena could be good enough against classes that can't really deal with it easily. So it's great.
One
It's a
thing to
pretty good
note
arena
though
card.
is that he apparently decapitated the Noyatron. So
Yeah, the artwork's amazing as well. Yeah, that's awesome. All right, over to you, Cage.
yeah, again, it's the 3. It's an arena card. It's just a 2 mana 3/2 with taunt. There's really nothing to say about it.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to review this one. All right, so 3. Move on to the next card, I think. All right, next card we have is Zuba. Now, that's another cool design. Blizzard's really thought a lot of different synergies. It's like the curator in a sense. This is more give a random friendly beast, dragon, murloc. Now, when I first read this card, I read it wrong. I thought it was just give one of them a +1/+1, but it's actually all of them. So this could be a deck. Now, this is a really tricky card because it's sort of like Sun Cleric, the unnerfed Sun Cleric, which was a 3 mana 3/3 give one
Yeah,
a
it's
+1.
very similar to
Now,
that. It's
if you give one of the dragon or beast +1/+1, so it's a 3 mana 4/4, but it's better than that because they have charge because they're already on the board, so it's actually they can tax straight away. So it's probably better than 3 mana 4/4. If you get one off this card, I think it's value. If you get two, it's just unbelievable value. Now, the deck I can see this in, which I thought about last night, is actually Paladin. Paladin can play the 1 mana Murloc minion, which turns the hero player into a Murlocs. So you can always have a Murloc target with it, which is interesting because they can maybe just play Beast and Murloc. Maybe then play Beast, Dragons, and Murlocs. We're not sure on that. There's another card which synergizes with this one, which we'll talk about soon. I thought about that last night. I'm like, the Murloc, what about the Paladin hero power? You can turn into a Murloc, then you always have a Murloc, which means the dude will come a 3/3. 2/2, which could be enough value. I gave this card a good rating, and yeah, it's a cool card. Build around card too.
okay. So
Over to Cage.
I ranked this guy at 2 as well. The best way to compare it is Sunshine Cleric when she was back in beta. It's a 3/3, and it buffs at least 1 minion. You're already reaching that value. But if you buff anything beyond that, this card can become a little bit crazy. So this definitely isn't like the most insane card ever. It does require a little bit of work, but It's a really cool card. It's also a mech, which is noteworthy again. If you're crazy enough to combine all four synergies in one
Oh,
deck.
that'd be crazy. Maybe what? Maybe we'll see some crazy wild deck. I don't play wild much,
And I
so
absolutely love the artwork.
yeah. And it's like, and yeah, when they were saying that Warlock plays Zoo, this is actually real Zoo now. Maybe you can play real Zoo. You've got all this energies there, but you drag it in Murloc in one deck. Yeah, boys. All right, over to the next card. The next card we have is, this is Medivh the Guardian. I'm gonna say that really loud because this is an awesome card. Equip the Atish greatest stuff of the Guardian. We haven't actually got the token on here, but we can explain what it is. It's a 1/3, 1/3 Summoning Stone. Well, 1/3 weapon with 1/3 weapon. Durability is 3, attacks 1, and the effect is Summoning Stone effect. So whenever you cast a spell, summon a random minion of the same cost.
Yeah,
So like we
basically
were
you
talking
lose
about
one
before.
durability
So this
and
card is just tier
summon
number one. This is an
minion.
excellent card. This is just an excellent card. It's a build around card. I see this actually working in Reno Lock as well. This could be a card that fits in Reno Lock because you got, Twisting Nether. You got, I think how Twisting Nether should work, whether I understand how it should summon, is Twisting Nether goes off, then it summons the minion afterwards. If you have the weapon equipped, because the way it's worded.
Well, from my understanding, it would actually wouldn't work with Twisting Nether. It would summon the minion, and then Twisting Nether would turn around and destroy it.
Yeah, well, someone
I
said that.
remember that one from the tavern brawl myself.
Yeah, and it's interesting. We'll have to figure that out because the order of things, that doesn't matter anyway. There's so that's how it spells with. It's just gonna be a great card. A lot of decks. Priest could play this. Well, Priest, talking about Priest, but Priest could definitely run this. Could be a good Priest card. They have a lot of the late game spells, Entomb and stuff. This with Entomb would be really, really good. You get 6, you take a minion off the board, you get 6 drop. Mage is probably the best class for it. And like a Control Mage again. This is another Control Mage tool. That's what I mean. Control Mage is just amazing right now. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about it. It's just a fantastic card. I love the card. One of my favorite cards in the set. Over you, Kedge?
So this card is it's really interesting. Like to start off, it equips a weapon. Weapons are much harder to get rid of, so you're guaranteed to get the effect, and that's a big, big difference from summoning stone in comparison.
Other
And
than
there's
Ooze
so much
and the weapon
spell
cards, but
synergy in this set, like so much that this card becomes absolutely insane. And I had it ranked much lower than this, but after seeing all the cards we got in the set, this card became just completely off the wall.
yeah.
There's so much synergy, so much combos, and like I said, you have the
I
any
think
portable card. This card becomes
I think we had
ridiculous.
it ranked
And
at good. I think at one stage we had it good. Might have been good when it first came out, and then all
originally it
this
was like 3, and then it
might
went
have been
like 2,
3.
and
Yeah,
then like went to 1. This
it
card
just
is just absolutely nuts, and
your only counter to it is Harrison Jones, but you're really gonna save it against other weapon classes. You're gonna be able to hold out for that. It's a really hard way to just hold out your ooze or that your weapon for it
although Harrison Jones does become better if you're facing a mage now, so there is that.
against other neutral classes too. But the problem is it may not come better because what if they go to lose on fatigue then? Because Control Mage will always win the fatigue war with Forgotten Torch. So if they do
I
manage
mean,
to
with
kill your
all the spells
weapon.
and like I was talking about like bad points, but this card just
So to me, even
there's
harassing this weapon, say that you play it and then they harass it and they get draw 3 cards, they actually could lose on the fatigue anyway. So you actually might want them to harass your card. So it's
actually
interesting.
it could
It
backfire too
could
because if they
backfire, yeah, because they
Harrison
draw
it, then
too
they
many
can't kill
cards.
it that turn, so you can just smack them in the face for 7. And
You don't need this to win the game because you got your other legendaries too. And if they harass
it's
it, they're
really
like,
hard to like outright punish this card. You have to
you
like
can't really punish it. A mage can always win the fatigue battle with the Forgotten Torches too, because they can add fatigue. And drawing 3 cards is a lot into fatigue. That's like 3, 1 plus 2 plus 3. It's quite a lot of fatigue damage extra as well. So. Love the card. Anyway, I think that's enough about Medivh. The cool thing about the card, it's a hero as well as a card. I think it's the first time Hearthstone's ever done that. The hero is also a card, so it's pretty cool.
one last thing to note: it's the first neutral weapon we have for the game.
First what?
First neutral weapon we have.
Oh yeah, first neutral weapon. Yeah, it is. Technically, it is a weapon still. You can actually use 1 damage if you wanted to. It is a weapon.
I don't
Yes.
know why you want to, but you
Yeah,
can.
it'd be pretty bad. Yeah. All right, the next card. The next card we have is Silver Wire Golem. Now, this is the one we're talking about, the 1 mana 1/3 before, the demon card. This probably fits in the same deck, but the worst thing is like this is obviously if you go like turn 1 and then Succubus and this, it's like really good. But like, what are you going? 25% of games you're going to get that. You're going to discount something worse. Like, it's just not good enough to like consistently discard it. I did give it a good because it may be playable. I think it's better than decent. It's just a cool card, but I just feel like it's like 3 mana 3/3 is it's not that great. But then if you get it for free, it's alright. But how often are you going to get for free? and like how powerful is that? Discard deck doesn't seem to work, so. But I'll give it a 2 because it is a good card. It fits that theme. Not much to talk about this one, and yeah, 2 rating for me, which is good. Over you, Cage.
So I'm gonna rate this a 3. A lot of what you said made some good points there. The big thing is that it's only a 3/3 for free, and depending on what discards it, the value can be extremely shaky. So you discard it with Soulfire, that's pretty decent. But you discard it like Succubus, you're all right. But like for the most part, a lot of discard cards we have just aren't that great, with the
So
exception
the
of like
dream would be
Soulfire.
you go turn 1 the imp. I don't want to say its name 'cause it's hard to pronounce. You turn 1 that.
Alcazar's Imp.
Yeah, turn 1 that. You go into Succubus and then it discards this, and then you got a pretty good board actually. It's pretty powerful. It's like 4/3 3
Doomguard
3.
could be an okay play
Doom
there
Guy could
too,
be
but
good too,
at
but
that stage it might not be too relevant anymore.
yeah.
It's one of those cards that's competing with a lot of free drops. It's
I
competing
feel like
with
discarding
Inflamed
cards
Bust.
a
It's
negative
competing
effect.
with
Like
it's
maybe
just
Fits of
competing with
Draxus in
so
the same
many
deck, but
cards, and I don't see it happening in standard because of that.
and you also got the 3
Like,
mana 2/4. You got the 3 mana 1/5. You know, Councilman, Imp Game Boss. There's too many other good
yeah,
cards.
you got Council, you got
It had to be a
Game
whole new deck. I
Boss.
don't think it just fits in Zoo. I think you have to make a whole new disc.
And
I'll
the
be
problem
trying to.
that like in a whole new deck, like this card deck, it just no matter how many things you cram
I
into,
mean, we
it's
could we
just
could
not
be wrong. I
enough.
mean, we definitely could be wrong about a lot of cards. I definitely would be trying a discard Warlock out. I think it's a really cool deck to try and play. Tiny 99 of Evil as well, but I just don't see
I
it
do
consistently good.
enjoy that we have that flavor for the card too,
Yeah,
because that was sort of one of Warlock's things. It's nice to see it getting some more things for the flavor of the card.
yeah.
So I can definitely pick the card.
All right. Anyway, over to the next card. The next card we have is Nether Spite Historian. Hey, you can pronounce that one pretty well. 2 mana 1/3. Now, when we first so this card, I think we rated it decent because it was just like there's not many dragon decks. Same problem with the other dragon card, the Bookworm. But now with the new, which we haven't seen the Paladin card yet, this card becomes good because that dragon deck is going to be a thing. I think Paladin Dragon's got enough now to push it into. It's got good tempo. You got the 5 mana 5/5, but reduced to 2 costs. So if you're holding a dragon, discover a dragon. And the good thing about this, you can also discover like your Sarah. You can discover like I think it's 4 times discovering a class dragon. So you can also discover the 5/5 dragon from Paladin if you play it in Paladin. So that's really good having more copies of that card. So that's another thing to remember. It's just, yeah, I think it's a pretty good card. Only in maybe Dragon Priest or Dragon Paladin, maybe Dragon Mage. Dragon Mage is another deck that could be good. I'd give this a good rating. Pretty easy one to evaluate. Over you, Cage.
So this card was pretty complicated for me at first. Like again, it's the same thing where I expected Hell to get nothing, but in basically this card can discover late game, and it does fill a little bit of a hole that you have in the early game for both Dragon Priest and Dragon Paladin. So let's just start with the easiest one, Dragon Priest so far. Is this going to make Dragon Priest viable? The answer, I don't think it's going to, because there's a lot of issues going on with Priest as a class as a whole, and I don't think this is enough to push it over the edge to bring it back to where it needs to be. But for
It's
Dragon Paladin, Paladin has all the tools that Priest doesn't have. And for Paladin, discovering a dragon, especially when it requires a lot more commitment, this will up your late game. It's a
the
2-drop, and they were missing a 2-drop at that
the
stage.
amazing thing about this card, which I see we haven't seen the new Paladin Dragon card and showed you guys yet, is you play this on turn 3, you guarantee that 3-drop dragon to get triggered the next turn. That's another big thing. If you have a dragon in your hand, you guarantee to discover another one. So it adds to your list
It
of
really
dragons.
helps fill out, and
Helps
it's just
consistency in dragon deck.
exactly the right mana cost for that deck. So
And
this
1/3 is
card,
better than 1/2. I think the priest card, the 2 mana 1/2, that adds a
yeah, it's
death rattle
also
card
like
to your
going
hand. It's
through a
better
death
than that.
rail. It doesn't synergize really well with the theme, so we'll see on Priest. But for Paladin, this is definitely a card I would include if you're playing
And
Dragon Paladin.
yeah, so you gave it a good rating too. So pretty much same rating there. It's definitely not excellent card. It's definitely not decent. It's definitely not a decent one. That's definitely good. So pretty easy evaluation there. Over to the next card. Next card we have is Moonglade Portal. Now, this is another tricky card to evaluate. I think average 6 cost me is a 5/5. So you're getting a bit of a bonus, but you're losing slight stats. I gave this one good from the remember. I don't think it's like unplayable. It could work in Yogg Druid as well, because Yogg Druid can just play a 6-drop. They don't have like the Cthulhu 6 mana 5/7, which they can just play this. adds a minion to the board, gives them a bit of heal. The 6 health's not worth that much, but it is. I mean, you are getting extra value. If you get Samas or something from this, you're actually getting Samas plus 6 health. Not always. You got Bloodhawk, you get Samas. It averages 6 mana 5/5, so it's not too bad. Like, you can definitely see this in Yogg-Druid because it adds to the spell list, and also it's a versatility card. It's a build around card. It could also spawn a whole new deck. I was playing a deck the other day on rank. It was pretty much just Yogg, Elise, and there's all spells. And it was actually pretty powerful because you can do some pretty crazy things with Yogg, but this adds to the list of good Yogg spells. Another good Raven Idol card to probably get from Raven Idol as well. So could add a whole new archetype, but it's a cool card. I like it. I don't think it's the weakest portal in the set. I think Paladin's one is. And yeah, I think a good rating is where I see it at. What about you, Cage?
So I rank this only a 3, and the reason is that it's awkward in every regard. In that it's a rare. So why this is a rare in for arena, and then we have Menagerie Warden, which is common, and that's like terrible in arena because the odds of having a beast and being able to play that are very low. It kind of baffles me a little bit. But overall, it's 6 mana, and on its own, it's good value as a standalone card. But here's where the problem's coming: 6 mana is a critical turn for Druid, and like for Cthulhu Druid, you have a 5/7 for 6 pawn. You know, and
Definitely
for other
doesn't fit in
Druid
that
decks, you
deck,
might be
no.
running
Like I said,
like
Yogg-Druid's the only
Emperor
deck I see.
Thaurissan, your Emperor, and you've got like a bunch of other stuff that clashes with that slot.
Yogg-Druid
So
doesn't
maybe
play
a
many
Yogg
6
Druid,
drops because they don't play any 6 drops as far as I understand, unless maybe
I could
Sylvanas.
potentially see it in a Yogg Druid, but
It has to
like
be
outside of
experimented a
there,
little bit.
it's just it doesn't really fit into anything Druid does very well right now.
It
So
has to
I
be, it
don't
might be a
think
new
it's
deck.
gonna see a lot of play in constructed.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, being a rare, I don't see it seeing a tremendous amount of play in the arena.
Yeah, Arena 6 health's not really worth much in Arena. 6 cost minion, you'd rather have like Bloodhawk 6 mana 6/7 to be
Like
honest. I think it's
combined
bad in Arena
together,
as
if
well.
they were a common, it would actually be pretty good because you're guaranteed a 6 cost minion. It might be something you don't even have in your deck, and you're restoring some health. There's a lot of value in for a common, but it's not. So it's
Yeah, yeah. All right, we're on the next card. See, some of our reviews will be slightly different, not all the same, as you can tell. All right, over to the next card. Next card we have is Philsbane. This is a cool card. Another cool new effect that into the game. It's combos with the card. The last card in the set actually will show is the We'll show you that card when it combos with it. But 5 mana 3/4 weapon. Warrior's 5 mana slot's pretty bad. They only have Brawl really. They play, so could see this in Control Warrior because unlimited attacks this turn. You could clear the board with this. You might take a lot of damage, but Warrior has a lot of armor too. So um, I feel like this is a pretty easy card to evaluate. It combos with another card, which we'll tell you about when we get to that card. I gave this a good rating. Yeah, it's not a build around card. It just fits straight in Control Warrior to me. I think it's they're missing that 5 mana slot. I think you play one of this and one Brawl maybe. Maybe Reno as well. Like I said, this is another good Reno card. Over to you, Catch.
so another good common weapon for warrior that they need that
Oh,
very
also
badly.
Arena. Yes, Arena. Sorry, yeah, Reno as
But
well.
the big thing is, I see this more actually in a tempo oriented draft because you're probably going to be like running double brawls, control warriors from this point forward. But in a tempo-driven warrior deck, like this is really good. You hit like a strong turn 4, and you like hit this on turn 5, and you just like keep them down and out, and you just pile on stuff, and they can't ever come back because you just
Yeah,
hammered the whole
I didn't think about
away.
Tempo Warrior, but this could be a really good
And I
help Tempo
originally
Warrior.
ranked it lower, but because it synergizes with another card so well, and that card synergizes with a bunch of other decks just as well, it ends up being an excellent choice.
Yeah,
So I rank it about a good.
yeah,
It's a
good.
great weapon.
It's not quite
Overall
tier
value,
one, but yeah. Yep, cool weapon,
it's definitely. I'm glad to see this
a
card
cool
in the
new
game.
effect to the game. I'm glad it can't attack heroes. If it said it can attack heroes as well, this card would be broken to no means level.
Yeah,
This
because
would
we
be
need
like
more face rush in Hearthstone.
that would be like 12. Imagine face war with this card. Holy, oh my gosh! If
We
it
didn't
picked
get
it,
enough of that from Arcane Doll. We need more of that.
I would
Very
have been like,
important.
I was like, when I can't attack heroes, I was like, thank goodness I had that on the card when I first read it. All right. Anyway, next card we have is Spirit Claws. Another cool man. Blizzard's really, I'm really happy with the set. They're really pushing new archetypes. This is like War Axe if you have spell damage. This is better War Axe. I feel like this card is a good card already. Not excellent because it requires something to go with it. But two attack where you have spell damage, you've got Blood Mage, you've got the 2 mana Geomancer, you got Zero Drakes. I just don't. It'll have to respawn a whole new deck, and I'm not sure if Shaman's going to go there. I think the normal aggro, the mid-range Shaman's probably stronger than this, but I like the in the future. This probably be a better card. I think it's a good card. Certainly, I'll be experimenting with this card. Like I said, 1 mana, 1/3. If you hit something with 1 mana, let's say you trade and kill something with your hero power and that, and then you get the spell damage, you got 3 charges with it. So it's kind of you're only paying 1 mana for it, and it's a good arena card too because you can just hero power. I think it's a great arena card as well, and I gave this a good rating. What's your thoughts, Cage?
Well, I ranked it good too. Mostly on arena. This is just a really good card. If we compare, you have the 1 mana 1/4 Keldon, which for some reason I'm now
Light Justice.
inconveniently nickname. Light's Justice, thank you. Of course, I forget a card I've played a million times before, of course, right?
A
So
million times.
it's a
Well,
light,
actually,
it's a
Master
Light's
for Battle used to
Justice.
support it all the time, but anyway,
I
yeah.
know that's the worst part about it. How could I forget the name of it? I just like even like the 1/4 weapon that comes from Muster. So
Yeah, that's funny.
it's a Light's Justice for Shaman. You're probably going to see some spell damage here and there in the arena anyways, so it's a pretty good card there. And in constructed, Shaman didn't need anything more, so it's nice to see him go in a different archetype direction because they're pretty good where they are with mid-range and aggro Shaman. And this is a really card to see. It's a lot of value if you manage to pull it off. And if anyone remembers Cloudmaster's Wrench for Rogue, this is a much, much better version of
Yeah, it
that.
is. Yeah, it definitely is. Yep.
This
All
is
right.
this will see much more play in comparison to that.
Over to the next card. Next card. We're getting through these pretty quickly. Must be about 20, I think, now. Not exactly sure. I'm not counting them.
Yep. Now we're up to the Arcane Anomaly.
Arcane Anomaly.
This is a very interesting card indeed.
Yeah, this card's this card's interesting. So me, when I first looked at this card, it's an opposite Menowem, right? Because Menowem has 1+1 attack. This does +1 health. This can easily. I think this could make. I'm not sure if we're gonna make Priest viable, but this is what Priest really needs because I think now you go 1 mana power shield, you get a 2. You get a 2/4. I think because you're +1/+2. Yeah, it's a 2/4, which is
It
actually really
really
good to
has to
trade up.
work in like a very specific deck, and I'm
I
not
think
so
Tempo
sure that that's
Mage.
gonna hit it. But in like Tempo Mage,
Yeah,
yeah, it's gonna be really interesting.
I think it's just a good card. It's not excellent because you said you got to build around it, and you're not really sure how it's going to work out. It actually comes out in the first set. I think Cage has tested it out a little bit himself, but I think he said he got the 17 health or something. That was ridiculous.
I'll explain that in a moment.
Yeah, you explained that. I was just like, because I haven't tried the card yet. I haven't actually got the expansion yet. I'm doing the reviews first. So, Cage will explain what actually happened today with the card. But yeah, I think it's a good card. I'm definitely going to be playing around with it. I think Tempo Mage fits well because you got Menowem coin this, and then this might actually help push Tempo Mage a little bit stronger because you've got ability to trade up early on now. Maybe even against Zoo, it helps the matchup a little bit too. Anyway, over to Cage.
So I ranked this about a 2. I might want to consider it being a 1, but I had a chance to play with this, and I got it up to 17 health in the Priest deck, and it never died. And my opponent was spamming angry emotes at me the entire time. It was rather amusing. I turned 1, I hit it, I coined Power Word Shield, and it just got out of control from there. And this card is actually extremely easy in the right deck to do that, and Tempo Mage would be the ideal candidate. Whether this makes Priest good or not, it's hard to tell because
It's definitely
I'm not going to say it does.
It
I
definitely
won
helps
some
Priest
games,
though,
I
because I
lost
feel
some
like this is
games.
it's like Zombie Cho, right? Zombie Cho used to be good in Priest. The only thing they're missing is Valen though. Valen was like the big one that can't really buff it. Hell attack though.
It can easily get out of control.
I could
Like, it
also
can be
see
so
this.
ridiculous out of
I can
control
see this
that
in
it's
Shaman. I'm
just.
not sure what Shaman lists, but Shaman has Flame Tongue Totem. So if you
I can
buff
see it Shaman also
spell
in a
some,
Yogg Druid deck. This could be a ridiculous.
I think
card.
any
It's
Yogg
way out
deck
of
you could
control.
run it in. Like maybe you play like a spell summon with the weapon we were talking about previously, and you played this as well, and then you got the spell damage and it buffs it, and then you got Flame Tongue Totem, so it trades up really well. Oh
It's
my goodness.
actually really awkward for the opponent to deal because if you go first and throw this down, they can
You got the
coin you, use their
coin.
hero
If you got
power,
the
but they
coin as
like
well, like
wasted the
you
coin.
guaranteed 1
But if
health.
you go second, you hit this, you coin, you hit
Just
a
imagine
spell, and it's
this
like
in
their opponent's worst night. You just hit a
imagine this
zombie
in
shell, you killed
Shaman
something
though.
on the
Like
board.
you get this to 5 HP, you have Flame Tongue Totem on board. Imagine the value trade you're gonna get with the 1-drop. Oh my gosh, I can just dream of that. Play this in Shaman, then you have coin Feral Spirits, and then you have Flame Tongue Totem. Oh,
This card
that's
really is
brutal.
just
That is
its
brutal.
value
That is
across
like
the
brutal. Like
board
think
is.
about Arcanine Meat Coin. Still not as good as Talon Troll, but Arcanine Coin Feral Spirits and your Flame Totem. You might even fit in this
But if you're
Aggro
playing
Shaman
a
deck.
spell-based deck,
I can
then you're
see
gonna
Aggro
plug
Shaman
both
running this
sell it.
actually. They got enough. They play enough spells. So I'll play this over Agent
It's
Squire.
overall a really good
I
card.
think
It
you play
might
this
be a
over Agent
1, but
Squire.
I'm gonna keep it at 2 now.
Yeah, keep it at 2 for now. But I'll play around with after this review. I'll be playing with the cards a bit more. But We can always come back like a month later and tell us what actually happened with the reviews, but you'll see what happens anyway. All right, over to the next card. Avian Watcher. Now this is a cool effect. When I first read the card, I thought it was like Druid of the Claw, but slightly better than Druid of the Claw, like 1 health more. This control, maybe control mage, like gives ice block, you guaranteed it, but I feel like 5 mana 4/7 is just not good enough. I feel like this is like 3. I just feel like it's just, it's the only deck I can see it in, because you can't play this in Hunter, I don't think. I just don't think you can play it in any other secret deck. Maybe Secret Paladin plays it, but no, I don't want to see that, so I just don't see it in any other deck.
Hunter maybe, but mostly.
But if I'm in a 4/7 though, like if I'm in a 4/7 doesn't even feel great though. It's slightly better than Druid of Claw. American Druid of Claw is like on the way out now too. It's not the greatest 4/6 stats, isn't the greatest, right now. 4/7 slightly better.
I don't know. It might stick around because of the edge reward.
But yeah, yeah, it might be right. Maybe Reno Mage. Maybe one of them Reno Mage. Maybe, and that's a maybe because because definitely Iceblock is the one that's secret that guarantees a +1/+1 every turn. But if you don't get the secret, then it's a 5 mana 3/6 West. It's a West. What's the I can't even think of the name of the card. The 4 mana 3/6 taunt. What is that card called again? Oh man, I've had a mind blank here.
It's a worse Bog Creeper.
No, not Bog Creeper. Not Bog. That's a good. What's the
other
one?
Not Bog Creeper. It's
Fel Reaver, not Fel Reaver. Oh my gosh, I don't know. I can't remember.
3 mana 3/6.
I know. How do we forget that card?
5 mana 3/6 with taunt. What is that card's name? I play it in the all the time. How did I forget this card? It's like.
That review is terrible. We can't remember the name of the card that is like a common in arena I play a lot. It's actually not a bad arena card.
Why can't I remember it right now? This is ridiculous.
Anyway, you know the card we're talking about. It's a 5 mana 3/6 taunt. I've lost it. I don't know the name of the card.
Yes.
Google it on my phone.
That card, I can't remember. Let me look.
Google it.
Oh my god, this is ridiculous.
This is not professional ridiculous. 101 right now. I can't believe I can't remember that name. It's just.
How do we both forget that name? That's amazing. We both
like
forgot that.
It's a mind blank, boys. It's a mind blank. Sorry, on live stream we've had a mind blank. These cards have made our brain go weaker or something.
Alright, so.
Hang on. Lag 101. So we're just going to check this just to get it right for the review.
Fen Creeper, it's Fen Creeper.
It is Fen Creeper. There we go. I thought it was Fel Reaver.
I don't know why.
Alright, Fen Creeper. Yeah, so it's like it's a West Fen Creeper if you'd have a secret. So that's all I'm pretty much saying about the card. It's a decent card, but it's definitely not good. It may work in a Reno Mage, maybe. Alright, over to you, Cage. Sorry about all that trouble there.
Basically, back in the X-Ramus, we got Mad Scientist, and it basically created a secret mage deck where you just generally lock your opponent out playing minions and spells and freezing them, and if you're a control warrior, that really sucks. So this card just helps that, and in Wild, it's just going to be more annoying than it was before, but a little less gimmicky. And we got another card that goes along with that. In Standard, I don't think it's going to see any play, but if you're unfortunate enough to see this in Wild, you might get a little bit hurt.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of broken decks in Wild, but we'll think about it at the end. I think that's enough about Avian Watcher. Sorry about we forgot that card.
That's more than enough about Avian Watcher. We got a little bit more on that one.
Yeah, we didn't need to. We just forgot that name of Fen Creeper. I can't believe I know every card in Hearthstone. That was disappointing.
I know.
Anyway,
all right, so now we always have Maelstrom Portal.
Maelstrom Portal. And I gave this one a bit of a high rating because this could work in the same deck as the Spirit card, the 1 mana 1/3 weapon. But deal 1 damage to all minions. This is definitely power creep though. I feel like Blizzard's baiting power creep over Arcane Explosion. Not like it sees play, but deal 1 damage to all enemy minions. Some 1 cost. So it's the same as Arcane Explosion, but you get a 1 cost minion. The average 1 cost minion is probably like a 2/1 maybe. You can get the 1 mana 2/4, I think. The Injured Cavalier, I think it is. I think I remember that one. But I think this could be good even with Malygos. I've been playing Malygos deck. Could run this instead of maybe one because you can deal like 6 damage to all without actually overlording. There could be a way to play that. There's a few. It definitely works well with spell damage. Like you play this, the hero play 2 damage all for 2 mana would actually be pretty good if you have spell damage in the same. I think this works in the same deck as spell damage, right? Same deck as a 1 mana weapon. Same deck as that because you kind of want the spell damage. So yeah, I gave this a good rating. I didn't think it was a 3. I feel like it's maybe playable, so it's in the good category for me. Pretty much all I have to say about the card. Over to you, Cage.
So I rank this guy a 3. It's Arcane Explosion for Shaman, but the problem is again, why is this a rare? Shaman, why are all Shaman good cards rares? This is just unfair for Arena again, and it's pretty decent, but at the same time, Shaman doesn't operate the same way as Mage does. So while Arcane Explosion can be good for Mage in certain instances,
Excuse me.
I feel like the way Shaman operates, this isn't quite as good, even though it summons a one-cost minion. So it's about a 3. I could see it seeing play in certain instances. It's a really cool card, but it really just should have been a comp.
Yeah.
Overall, it's not too bad. It's not too amazing. It's ranking around the middle. It's decent.
All right, over to the next card. The next card we have is Washburger. This is the card we were talking about earlier with the ethereal peddler. These names are terrible for me. I'm terrible at pronunciations, but
Ethereal Peddler.
ethereal peddler, that's the one. This is why I think it could make it a deck because you got this and you got Undersea the Hux. You can maybe play one Burgle, and then if you get this, if you get two cards discounted, that's pretty good value. This card just by itself is great though. Like it does fit in that same deck, but I just see this in a lot of raid decks. I think a 1 minute adds a card. It's still like the Babbling Book as well. Pretty easy card to evaluate for me. Just an excellent card. Gonna see a heaps of play. We need a lot of raid decks. Pretty easy card to evaluate for me. What's your thoughts, Cage?
So everything I said about Babbling Book, this just blows Babbling Book out of the water. I mean, it's a 1 mana 1/1 that puts the card in your hand, which happens to be a card from your opponent's class. Also, it's a common on top of that, increasing the absurdity of this card.
Yeah.
So again, Rogue isn't the greatest in early game right now, but with this is a card I would just run in a Rogue deck because it gives you an answer to something, gives you a class card,
And the good
it's
thing,
on the board,
and the Rogue's hero power
it's
is actually
also
better
a
than
pirate.
Mage's too. Rogue's hero power is better than
So
Mage because you get two pings in a way. You can just trade up with something. You get a one. You can use
this
it to trade.
card is just absolutely insane, and this gives you fuel to synergize with combos because it's a 1 mana put something into your hand card that's a minion, so it just
Yeah.
triggers combos.
Oh, it
It's
makes yeah combos.
absolutely
You can
off the
yeah,
wall.
yep,
And this card just synergizes with everything Rogue wants to do. This card does well,
yep.
and then it's a pirate on top of
Not
that,
like
who's a
yeah,
common. This card is just through the.
yep. I think that's pretty much the easy evaluation there. I think most people will see that. Over to the next card. The next card we have is Wicked Witch Doctor. It's pretty underwhelming this card. Like you can compare it to the 4 mana 3/5. If I forget this card, I'm gonna kill myself. What is going on? Um, oh, the dream card that's played all the time. Violet Teacher. Oh,
Huskar Temic or
Violet Teacher. Violet Teacher. You can compare it to Violet Teacher because Violet Teacher, after you cast a spell, adds a 1/1 to your hand, right? It's a 4 mana 3/5. Don't know why this couldn't have been a 3/5, but anyway. Yeah, so it's like Violet Teacher, but is a totem better than a 1/1? So maybe you can play it in the same sort of spell deck, and also with some synergy with Evolve there because the totems cost 2 mana, so it's actually better than Violet Teacher if you play that same deck. Maybe you can play like your spell deck with Shaman and then you evolve your board. Like you go like this and then you go bang, like spell, get two costs and evolve it. I'm not sure. I think it's a decent card. I just don't think it's going to see much play. I think this 4 mana 7/7 is just better. Pretty easy one to evaluate. Over to you, Cage.
yeah, the closest thing compare is Violet Teacher, and she's a 3/5 before. This is a 3/4/4, and one of the things to really consider is that okay, yes, it summons a basic totem. Yes, you can get the spell power totem a lot. Those are all well and good things, but it doesn't hold up. A 3/4/4 just doesn't hold up, and
It's
compared to
tempo
like
loss.
Tuskar
Yeah.
Totemic, I don't think this is going to make it into a totem team deck because we already have all the totem cards we really need to trigger things from below, and that's your big totem support. I
But
don't really see this
it,
being that impressive,
I
and then
think
worse yet, it's common, so
that
Shaman did
this,
not need to
yeah,
see this.
if this actually it said any totem like the same as Tusker, I think it would be broken though. Like it would be like Flame Tongue totem golem. I think it would be too powerful.
Yeah,
So
this would be a little bit ridiculous if any
I think it
totem.
would be
Then
too
you could like
broken.
get like a
Like
whole bunch of like flame
totem golems
totems,
or
you get a
something
whole
in Flame
bunch of
Tongues. Oh boy.
mana tides,
Yeah,
totem
so
golems.
they
Oh,
definitely
that
had
would
to
be a
check
little
the
too
bad. They
much.
probably went a bit undercost. I think this could have been at least a 3/5. I think, but anyway,
As
should
it
have
stands, it should have been a 3/5 for
been.
what
Yeah.
it was. But
Anyway,
oh well.
next card we have is yes, sorry, Medee's Valet. This is an amazing card. It'd be a lot better in Wild. This card is completely broken in Wild. This is the one I was talking about. He's completely broken. Mad Sinus, and then you play this and 3 damage, game over. Like the tempo in that play is just ridiculous. I should see this in another Control Mage tool because again, Control Mage, you play Ice Block, you always have 3 damage. This is actually not a bad late game card because dealing 3 damage. Also, you could see Freeze Mage running this instead of Forgotten Torch because it always deals 3 damage because you have Ice Block like 90% of the time. and it can also deal tempo card. The earliest you can play it is probably turn 4 because you play a secret and you have turn 4. It's a cool card. I think control again another control mage too. I think I gave this not an excellent rating. Wild to be excellent, but it's just a little bit more clunky in standard. So I think it's a 2.
Yeah,
Over
I
to you,
ranked
Catch.
it a 2 as well. Again, all the secret support in standard is a little bit clunky, but in wild it's a little bit. It could be broken. It's going to be at
Definitely.
least annoying.
Uh,
Annoying is going to be the best thing I can describe it.
just imagine this though. You go Mad Sinus and Wild, and you go 2 Medivh Valets, bang bang. So you're
I
like,
know, and then overall, it's like it's a 2/3 for 2. It's a common, so you got that
like
going
what's deal
for it. It
3
deals
damage
three
worth, right?
damage.
Fire Elemental, right? It's just compares to Fire Elemental. Fire Elemental is a 5-mana 6/5 that deals 3 damage, right? This is a 2-mana 2/3 that deals 3 damage. It's a conditional effect, but I think it's actually better Fire Element if you have a secret. Oh my gosh.
It's still at cost if you don't get the effect, and
It's
it's
a
a
2-mana
really crazy
2/3. Yeah,
card.
exactly. You can always just play this on the board that can contest aggro even if you don't have a secret. It's a versatility.
Also, I gotta love the fact that the monkey is the one who's throwing the
And speaking
fireball
about
for
what I
some
was thinking
reason.
about before with the Battlecry deck, this works well with Brand as well. 6 damage.
This card is just
Uh,
yeah.
oh boy,
I don't really have much more to say about it.
Brand with this is just unbelievable. He's Brand bang, kill him with 6
Yeah.
damage. Oh boy. Let's keep picking the same Babbling Book deck. You've had this and have some secrets and Brand. Oh my gosh, awesome. All right, next card we have Akka and Giant. Now, some people are really on the fence about this one. I just think this guy's. As soon as I've read the cards, like, this guy's amazing. There's so many times you're going to get this to like 0. There's even more combos than I thought now. Like, there's definitely Mage. Control Mage still a game. I actually think Priest can actually run this now too, because Priest has a lot of spells. This might actually help Priest a little bit. Warrior, OTK Warrior. This makes OTK Warrior maybe even stronger, because now they have ability to play like Arcane Giant, Faceless Charge really easily, and get this for free. Way better than Frost Giant for them anyway. It's better Frost Giant, I think. Just an amazing card. Love this card. Love the flavor of the card. That's with the theme of the deck. Each spell you cost 1 less for the game. I was watching a video yesterday, so on stream, and they got down to 3 mana as Mage really easily. So I think this plays some Mage. Maybe in some funky deck with like you get 2 Arcane Giants for 0, and then you did like Whirlwind, and then 2 copies of Blood Warriors. That'd be an awesome combo to watch. And then you got the Echo Effect gun. Then you
I
got
mean,
like
you
4
drop it
0
down for
drop
0.
dragons.
You hit it with 2 enrages. You hit it with 2 charges. You hit it with like rampages and
Oh boy.
like faces manipulator. Yeah, that's gonna be
I don't like that
interesting.
OTK Warrior deck, but anyway, it is what it is. It's just so hard to counter that deck a little bit against control. It's really powerful at the moment, and then later I see it all the time. So hopefully I do play this instead of Warrior. I think it's maybe slightly weaker, but hopefully we'll see what happens. But no, I
I
love
think
this
it's
card.
actually something
Love
stronger
the
because it's
artwork too.
0 mana,
It's like
so you
Tron.
can like combo everything together.
So
And then
this
you have
guy's just an easy
Thorson.
one for me. I like the artwork. It's like Tron to me as well. I love the artwork. Anyway, over to you, Catch.
So this card is absolutely through the roof. It's actually finally a competitor for Molten Giant pre-nerf. In a deck where you're running a lot of spells like Tempo Mage, maybe like a Spell Priest, any sort of
18
deck like
damage.
that, any Dogs are on deck, getting this guy to 0 really isn't that hard. Getting him down to like 4 isn't that
Well,
hard. Getting him down to 3 or 2.
just think about like most people play Yogg, they play with 10 spells. Average of 10 spells, right? So this is gonna be 2 mana when you have a Yogg deck. Most of the time, when you get Yogg, it'll be 2 mana. So
Of course, you can get it more than 10 spells.
you
Just
could go
get it down
Yogg,
one
and
at
then
a
you
time.
could go kill their build with Yogg, and then the next turn you go Arcane Giant, and that really swings the game really quickly, very fast. This makes the Yogg deck stronger, I think. My Yogg Druid maybe can run this
Yeah,
too.
this deck is actually now I think about it, wild. Do you remember the Molten Giant Mage deck where you duplicate the Molten Giants?
Yeah, this and Wild is
I'm just gonna
unbelievable.
throw that out there with the secret support we have, and then that might be a thing.
Yeah, in Wild, that Echo Medivh deck in Wild would be amazing. You can have like this
Oh,
with Echo.
I realized that it just works perfectly in that regard. That will be nuts.
I don't play
So
Wild
we
much, but it
got
doesn't bother me in Wild. But I think this is a great standing card too.
near do I, but I like to think about little synergies. I love building decks. This
Yeah.
card is just insane.
All right, so I've
Absolutely
just
one.
checked. We're up to 30. We're 16 cards to go. All right, so we're just updated with the 16. All right, next card we have is Cloaked Huntress. This is a cool card. It's a really good tempo card. Like it's 3 mana, 3/4. If you play that and then you play Frisian Tap, it's huge tempo against your opponent. Great stats. Great arena card. That's the first thing I want to say. It's a great arena card. 3 mana, 3/4 is perfect stats. You know, that's where the stats are at. Secrets cost 0 is a passive effect, so it's not just one secret cost 0, like the Mage 3-mana 4/3, which is, I don't know why, if you compare this to the Mage card, I feel like it's 10 times better, but anyway, imagine this a Mage, but anyway, be breaking a Mage, but yeah, great card.
I
I think
actually
this is a
ranked it
good
about on
card.
par with each other.
But one thing I was thinking of last night, your Yogg Lock and Load deck, the Yogg Lock and Load deck, it's nearly competitive deck now, and this could be really good in that deck because you can play this and then play all your secrets. A lot of secrets in that deck. So you play this with Lock and Load. So you play this on turn, let's say turn 5, right? You play this, Lock and Load, and then all your secrets cost 0. And it actually helps your Lock and Load more consistent because they're 0 cost. And a lot of time you play Lock and Load, you get secrets from it. So you could actually start doing some crazy combos where you play Lock and Load into 4 secret, and then you get more secrets from the Lock and Load, and that could trigger off. That could be an amazing combo. Got to see that happening. You know what I mean? Like just keep training the secrets.
Christmas Tree Hunter.
Oh, that's gonna be awesome. Just Lock and Load into secrets. You get like
It'll happen
5
to
secrets.
somebody.
Yeah, it will. I think it's
Probably
a really
me.
good Lock and Load hunter. It could also spawn a secret deck. I always thought Secret Creeper. You coin this out with Secret Creeper, right? That's a 1-mana 1/2 gets +1 each. So you coin
You
this
know, we
out, and
actually
then
used
you
to
go,
see that in
bang! That
classics
Secret Creeper could get.
decks.
Just imagine 4 secrets with this and Secret Creeper. That Secret Creeper is like Undertaker level. That's like a 4/5 Secret Creeper. Never know. Could spawn that deck. This
Well,
deck comes in the first set, so I'll be trying it out. But
I do remember back in the day seeing those Secret Hunter decks in
yeah, and
classics sometimes, and
I think
this
it's good to
card's
spawn a
pretty
new deck.
interesting.
So
I
I
ranked it
love the
2.
card artwork too. Over your review, Cage, anyway.
Right. So I ranked it 2, and this card, I had a chance to play around with this card, and it's pretty decent. It doesn't just fit in any hunter deck. It really does have to be like a lock and load type thing. Does it bring lock and load to like meta game relevant? I'm not gonna say it does, but it makes it a little bit better.
Well, Lock and
And
Load's
in
actually not
arena,
just
this
a
card
gimmicky
is
deck now. I see a lot of people like the Level Pro say Lock and Load's actually a pretty powerful deck. This could make it powerful enough to make it viable and make it a
I
tier
am a
deck.
bit of a skeptic, so
Yeah,
I'm gonna take a wait and see attitude on that. But it looks to me
it makes
that
it so much stronger than Lock and Load deck because it
it's a
makes the
very
ability to.
powerful card for that deck. It's very powerful on its own if you're
I
running
think it could
secrets or
spawn a
not like a
Secret Hunter.
beast
I think
hunter.
it could spawn a Secret Hunter deck. I think there's enough good secrets now to make Secret Hunter. Like you maybe play Secret Keeper. Like see if you Secret Keeper coin. Let's say they don't kill
That's
your Secret Keeper
certainly not
turn 1.
impossible.
You Secret Keeper turn 1. Let's just put this to the dream opening. Secret Keeper turn 1. And then coin out Cloak Huntress and have 4 secrets. How does that get it's game over? How do you deal with that? That's like 4/5, and then you've got they can't kill
It's
it.
not very likely for it to happen because I haven't
Not
really had
consistently,
that
but
going on
yeah.
events. But in this
But
situation,
then you
that
have the
would be
bow
like
as well, though. You play the bow in the
bullshit.
same deck, the bow in the same deck, and you can get your bow pretty crazy levels as well, right? It's interesting card. I love it. I love the flavor.
It's a pretty solid card overall. I like it a lot.
Yeah. All right. Over to the next card. Over to the next card.
Speaking of secrets, now we have
The
Cat
cat
Trick.
trick. Now this card I thought was like it's a really tricky card because if people your opponent can really play around this, like it's not if they know, but it makes it awkward to play around because it's another one like it's sort of like bear trap where bear traps can be awkward to play around sometimes. You really want to let's just say like turn 2 they play like let's say you have cat trick on turn 2 and then you play animal companion. Then they want to say like frostbolt you or your huffer. Then you get a 3-mana 4/2 and then you can Houndmaster the following turn. That's so awkward for a mage to deal with. Mage certainly gonna have a lot of trouble with this secret. Yeah, so it's pretty easy secret to evaluate. It's 3-mana 4/2. Panther's pretty good. Or 2-mana 3. It's really 2-mana 4/2 really. It's got stealth too, so it's guaranteed to stick on the board. So there's not many ways you can kill it. Yeah, I'd give this a good rating. Pretty easy one to evaluate. Over to you, Cage.
So I rank this good. This is pretty interesting. When we think about cards like Counter Spell or Spellbinder that punish you for playing a spell, Hunter is a class that needs it more than Mage, and it costs 2 mana. Hunter has the right mana cost to use secrets. So you play a minion, they try to hurl some removal and make it hard for you to get that mid-range control you need on the board. This will punish him for that. It summons a 4/2 with stealth. He can turn around and just buff that with like Houndmaster or Kill Command. Overall, this is a really good
And
card
this
for
may
Hunter.
make Cloak Huntress better too, because an extra secret. That's good. I think that's what I was
It
going to think of.
does. It
It
really
makes it.
does power up Cloak
I'm definitely going to
Huntress.
try a secret deck with heaps of secrets. I'm going to try 10 secrets in Hunter and see how it runs with that Cloak Huntress card. Like I said, Christmas tree, like
This
turn
card is
3,
really interesting.
you have like turn 3, you have 5 secrets like Secret Paladin, and against Hunter, that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
Definitely
like
going to play around
Freezing
that.
Trap, like Bear Trap,
Yeah, just have
Cloak
them all going at
Huntress,
once, boys. Let's
Snipe
do
on
it.
the board because
Oh
why
god, it's
not?
so awkward. It feels like Secret Paladin all over again. Not as quite infuriating, but it's still bloody annoying for
Well,
a opponent to deal with.
Secret Paladin displays stuff from the deck, and I've been
Yeah.
talking to a lot of like friends about this for years and years that Playing secrets for free from the deck is unacceptable. I
Maybe you
believe
don't
you can
even play
never
this
see
in
any
Log and Low.
more of that
Maybe
again.
because the problem with Hunter's card draw, right? But could you use Lock and Load as a card draw engine with the Huntress? I feel like they combo well together because say you play the 3 mana card with Lock and Load on turn
Yes
5 because
and
they
no,
reload your hand a little
but a
bit.
deck like that wouldn't have card draw problems to begin with. Like when we're talking about the card draw problems, most hunter decks mid range team draw beasts, and you have
Yeah,
serious issues
this will
with
be a
card
whole
draw.
new
You put a
different.
hit on the road.
This could fit a mid range hunter though.
This will
Like
be
it's not a
like an
build around
all new
card.
sort of deck. And yes, this does work great for mid hunter
All
because
right.
it'll let you throw down something down and then punish them
I
for
think we've
trying to
had
stop.
plenty talking about cat track. It's pretty. Anyway, we'll move on to the next card. This is the
Yeah,
one we we're
this is a
talking about
really
earlier. This
important
is the
one. This is
Nightblade Temple. This is the one we we're speaking about. We kept saying the synergies before with the 2 mana 1/3. Nether Spine, Nether Spine. I forgot the name now. My name's horrible today, but casual update me on the name of that
Lightning
card.
Templar,
I know
aka
that card. I was
Muster
trying
for
to think of the
Dragons.
Nether Spine card. The 2 mana 1/3 that discovers a dragon. What's that last name of it? Apprentice or
Nether
something?
Sprite. Nether
Ne-
Sprite. Yeah, it's Nether Sprite Apprentice or something like that.
yeah. Anyway,
I have to look at the
this is
card.
amazing. This is like Master of
But
Battle on steroids. It really is,
it's
right?
Muster for Dragons. It's
It is
Muster for
Master for
Dragons.
Dragons, because how easy to hold a dragon? Like holding a dragon is not a hard effect. This works. This makes Dragon Paladin to me top tier deck. I feel like Dragon Paladin could be maybe 2. I think I gave this card excellent. I just don't see it's a bad anywhere. Like it's just so powerful. You play this with Brand, and then you get 4 whelps. Like come on, like you play Brand in the same Dragon deck. You play Brand in a Dragon deck anyway. Like there's no way you don't play Brand in the same Dragon deck because a lot of them are Battlecry minions. You got Zero Drake, so you've got the 5 mana 5/5. I'm pretty sure with the 5 mana 5/5 Dragon card, if you play Brand with it, it actually discards by 4 instead of 2, which is interesting interaction I've got to figure out. Which imagine that's a powerful. Oh man, this is amazing. This card, love it so much. We didn't expect this card. Over you, Catch.
So this card is absolutely what Paladin needed for Dragons. And Paladin is a board control class. It's very different from Priest, especially how Dragons work with Paladin. This helps Paladin and Paladin Dragons general behave much more like mid-range Paladin. That feels more natural for the deck. Putting stuff on the board is more important to Paladin having a 3/5. And they just badly needed something like this. So now that you have Nether Sprite and you have this, and you have the removal that Paladin has in conjunction with Bookworm, I think you got something now that's much better and is at least potentially meta relevant.
Yeah, and
So
you're.
this card is what brings Dragon Paladin into being an actual
It
deck,
makes
and at
some other
least being a
cards that we
touch deck.
said in the set,
Like,
the Bookworm and the other one go up by 1 too. Like you said, it makes them other cards better. So,
yes, a
card that
lot
makes
of
other cards
those I
better.
ranked so much lower because I didn't expect Paladin to get this, and this is
Yeah,
just an
yeah.
awesome, awesome card.
All right, excellent rating. Both same ratings. They're pretty obvious to anyone that reads that card. You're getting 3 mana 4/5 stats, so it's better Yeti. And spread across board, which means blessing. So you play as turn 3, you play blessing, kings, keep of Eldom, and it just makes fits Paladin so well. And yeah, over to the next card. The next card we have is Pantry Spider. Now I rate this card I think a little bit less than Cage here. I'd say like it's a little bit. It is a beast, but 2/1/3. It is 2/6 stats, spread across 2 bodies. It works really good in a buff deck, I think, and also obviously like maybe Hunter. I think I gave this a good rating. Actually, I'm not sure what you rated this one. But we'll check in a second. Yeah, just a good rating. Like it's probably playable, but yeah, it's not the best piece card. Is it better than the 3 mana 2/5 that you have from Hunter? I don't know. Like 3 mana 2/5 Curran Grub. Maybe the 2 bodies is where it's worth the while. So yeah, gives a guarantee to get 2 beasts. Maybe beast 3 can run this too, but yeah, not much to say about this one. Over to you, Catch.
So this card is big for Hunter. Like I said before, Hunter has to draw perfectly as a beast deck because you don't have to play draw. I know I'm beating a dead horse here, but really it's 2/1/3s for free. So when you're facing a faster deck, this will give you the board presence you need, but just as sticky and annoying as the carrying grub is. You're not going to get rid of it that easy. You're going to be able to trigger the beast cards. It's really, really useful in Hunter, and with conjunction with Big Bad Wolf, aka Kindly Grandmother, you really got something here. So it's a nice power up for Hunter.
Oh, yeah,
Overall, I
this is
ranked
good.
it too.
Yeah, you got a good cat too. We're both ranked at the same there. Sorry, I thought it was different. All right, the next card. The next card we have is Silverman Portal. Well, it's just too many cards in the 4 slot. When I looked at this card, I'm like, giving me a 2/2, summon a 2 cost me. It's not too bad, but the problem is you got Blessing of Kings, you got Keep of Alderman. There's too many better cards, so I mean, it's just yeah, I don't know. It may see some play. I gave this a 3. I just feel like it was too clunky, and pretty easy review for that one for me. Over you.
Well,
Cage?
I actually ranked this much higher. I ranked it at 2. It's buffing and rating and summoning at the same time. For arena, this is obviously amazing, but
Yeah.
also for like constructed, this is still can see some play. It's not as big as blessing, but you're
Mm.
breaking the stats up. You're
The,
getting +2/+2 minion, and then you're getting the 2 attack minion from 2 cost. So it just
it's
breaks it up.
it's sort of like
It's
Shredder a little bit as
overall,
well. It's
it's a
like,
nifty card. I like it. It produces a lot of board presence, and it's a lot better than it looks. I'd say, especially for arena. So it gets to be a 2.
yeah. Well, I
That's
don't
that's
rate
how I feel about the card.
three's the arena rating for me anyway. I don't think two is a good arena rating because this is like, but anyway, we won't go there.
But even in constructed,
It's
it
got to
it,
be, we're doing
it does.
constructed rating mainly,
It's
but
the
yeah.
same value as blessing. It's just broken
The
up. So
problem
I
is
think
if,
it's
the problem too many times you might get like Doomslayer from this could be bad. Like there could be some bad
yeah. You
effects
could
like
pull
Shredder. But
Doomsayer, but I think it's
I guess you could
it's
pull
better than
Millhouse
nothing.
too, so it evens itself out and pull Millhouse from it. That's pretty good. Yeah, it might see some play. I just feel like it's the four slot's so saturated. You got Silver Silver Champion as well, but we'll see.
And that's a fair point, but I think it's a fair start.
Rightio. Next card we have is
Is the Menagerie Magician.
Magician. All right, this is a cool card.
Yeah, that's a mouthful.
Yeah. I think I read
This
this
is a
one
really
too.
interesting
I
card.
think this is the same one as the Zubot. I think it's slightly better than the Zubot, but then it's you play it in the same deck obviously. But give a random friendly beast, dragon, and Murloc 2/2. If you got all them to trigger, that's 5 mana 10/10 stats. Just think about that. That's crazy. I think I gave this on a good card. Yeah, it was good rating. Um, yeah, it's just even if you get the beast of it, 5 mana 6/6, not too bad. If you get beast and a dragon, 5 mana 8/8, it's pretty good. So I think this will spawn a new deck. I think this is gonna be a whole new deck. I'm definitely be trying it out myself. Not sure how good it will be, but we'll find out. That's pretty much all I have to say about the card. Pretty easy one to review. Over to you, Cage.
So, Menagerie Magician is best comparable to Defender of Argus. It's a 4/4 for 5, and it buffs a minion. In comparison to Argus, which is a 2/3 for 4, you're getting 1 mana up, you're getting +2/+2 instead of taunt. You're getting a 4/4, and that's at the weakest the card could be.
Yeah, I
When
guess you
you're
don't. You
playing that,
can't
you
buff
hit all
anything
three.
though to
If you
this.
hit all 3,
Yeah.
that is just devastating. You hit 1, it's basically a little bit better than Argus.
And your minions have
So
charge too, because if you have a minion on the board, they can attack straight away, which is another thing.
I think it's a lot of value for the card. I underestimated it first, but it's much better than I gave it credit for.
Yeah,
So
it's good
I'm
rating as
ranking it
well.
2.
Yep. All right. All right. We're nearly done here.
Now we have Priest of the Feast.
All right. I like this card.
This card's really, really interesting. I love the artwork.
I feel like this card could be a really cool, good against combo decks too, because you really heal up a lot with this card. I'd like to see how much heal you could do in one turn with this card. I feel like you could do like 12 heal pretty easily. Good stats, really good stats. Well, Priest needs 3/6 is what Priest needs. I like the stats. There's a lot of 4-drops. So I think this is one of the best 4-drops Priest got printed. So I feel like this is a decent rating. I don't think it's like good yet because Priest is so clunky as a class. But I might try as a Resurrect deck as well. But yeah, it's a cool card. Whenever you cast a spell, I know that whenever it may work in Yogg. Maybe Yogg Priest can be a thing. I'm not sure. Like with the other Arcane Giants, maybe you can run this in the same deck because whenever you cast a spell, if you have lots of cards in the deck that have the same effect, then this becomes better as well. Yeah. Not much else to say about the card. Cool card. Over to you, Coach. That my voice just died.
I know, me too. That's why I brought a lot of water with me today.
I need water.
So, water.
I'd have water with me, but no, we'll keep going. We're nearly done there. We only got 6 cards to go. 7
All
cards.
right, so
Thank you.
Priest of the Feast. I had a chance to play around with this card, so I can tell you it's good for keeping your health up, but it makes it almost intriguing to play a spell-based priest deck. And I had some mixed results with it, so my verdict isn't fully in, but I'm going to say it's about. It's another. The problem is
3 as
that
well.
it's another 4-drop.
Yeah.
And the priest has so many 4-cost minions.
This is the best 4-drop they've printed, though.
But that is true, and there's one more thing to consider. This is better than the 5 mana 4/5 in terms of how much it heals you. So
I think this combos with the new 5-drop they're getting, which is actually pretty good. That you play some turn, then you get that summon back. It's pretty good too. Like I feel like there's some combos
there's some
with this.
value with that there.
So this could be a combo card. Yeah, we'll see how it
Priest
goes.
already has so much trouble.
Great
with
arena card
aggro
though.
as it
I
is.
feel this is a good
It's
arena
hard
card.
to say.
Good arena card. Good
I
stats
like
in
the
arena.
card. I love the artwork. I love the flavor of the card.
It's just
and I
not
had
because
some
priest
decent
class.
results with it, but it's
Yeah, decent is the word we're talking about on this card. All right. Anyway, I think that's enough about Priest of the Feast. We'll move on to the next card. We're nearly at the end now. Deadly Fork.
oh boy, it's a
When I
deadly
first
fork.
evaluated this card, I read it wrong. I've read a few cards wrong. When I first read, I was like, oh, so it's the 3-mana 3/2, and you get a weapon equipped to your class, right? I was like, oh, that's really really powerful. But then when I was watching a review, I was like, oh no, it's a 3-mana 3/2, and you get the Deadly Fork in your hand, which is the 3-mana 3/2 weapon. And I'm thinking that's yeah, it's okay in like thing, but I have my review at excellent. I've just dropped down to good because I feel like a lot of reviewers are saying it's a little bit clunky, and I had I reviewed it again myself. I'm thinking, oh, it doesn't feel like it's a little bit clunky to me in a rogue deck because you're playing this on turn 3. It's a bit of a tempo loss. 3/2 is pretty bad stats for 3 mana, and then your weapon. Why can't the weapon cost 2 mana? Or like War Axe is broken, right? Could be 2 mana 3/2 would be a lot better, but yeah, cool card. Definitely playable, but I just don't think it's the best card in the set. But anyway, that's my thoughts on the card. I gave it a good rating.
All right, so I ranked this a 1, and the reason I ranked it a 1 is Death Rattle Rogue has a lot of really poor 3-cost Death Rattle cards at disposal. And like I said, Rogue has some trouble dealing with more aggressive decks. So when you play this guy, you trade him in something, that turn, you're not going to be playing a 4-cost unless it's healing you, because that's just going to be too hard to keep and catch up against an aggressive deck. So you're going to play that Deadly Fork that turn anyways. And you might not even have a 4-drop in hand to play, so I feel that playing it from your hand isn't as bad because it just gives you more abilities to push back faster decks and get you to where you need to get as a rogue. So if you're playing in Death Rail Rogue, this is a card that I would definitely. So I rank it at 1. And then of course in Arena, this card is incredible. So
Yeah, great arena. Yeah. All right, that's enough about the fork. The fork. No, I'm just kidding. Over to the next card. The next card is Onyx. Onyx Bishop.
Onyx
Onyx
Bishop.
Bishop. This is what I was talking about before. It combos with Priest of the Feast. This is a great card. I love this card. I think I gave this one a 2 rating. It's just a cool effect. I actually seen a video yesterday in action. I was watching someone play it, so it's worded wrong on the card. It says summon a friendly minion that died this game. It should say summon a random friendly minion that died this game. I feel like they worded that wrong, but anyway.
Yeah, but it's Hearthstone, so everything is
Yeah.
random.
So it's random
You know, it
anyways.
took me some getting used to from playing like Magic the Gathering and
This
playing
could make
Reaper at a
Resurrect
very
deck
serious
viable. I've been
level.
playing Resurrect Priest on the ladder. And it's actually not
Everything is
bad.
random in
Resurrect Priest
Hearthstone.
is probably one of the best Priest decks I've played so far because this makes like you get a 5-mana 3/4. Let's just say your 2-drop gets summoned. It's still like 5-mana, like 6-7 stats. So really good value stats card. I feel like this depends on how Priest goes to Resurrect. Works really well with Barnes. I was thinking about last night. So you play Barnes, you trade your 1/1 that got spawned from your deck, and then this summons back the full health minion. So this works well with Barnes as well. Other than if they kill Barnes, I guess. But, you still got a 50-50 chance of getting your big minion. Even you got Barnes back from this, it wouldn't be that bad, though. That's still 5-mana, 6-8 stats, isn't it? Yeah, so it was really cool combos with the card. So I gave this a good rating. I'm gonna love playing around with this card. What are your thoughts, Cage?
So I rank this guy 2. Um, it's a pretty solid thing for a Resurrect team deck. But again, with Priest, I don't think it's going to push Priest into the metagame by any means. But overall, I wish this was a common. But other than that, I really love the card.
Oh, yeah, it's a
It's
great
got
arena
a
card, though.
lot of nice effects to it, and it's got a lot of synergy with a spell-themed Priest deck. We're going to be running very few minions anyways. So overall, this card is
The dream with this card is play Injured Baymaster on turn 3, coin Onyx Bishop, and they kill you Injured Baymaster, or you just trade it in. Oh boy, that's a 5-mana 3/4 and a 4/7. Just putting that out there. And it's going to happen pretty regularly. It's pretty powerful though, actually, right?
it is a really solid card overall.
I like Priest of the Feast. You wouldn't care if you got a 3/6 back either. That's still, look at the stat value though. It's really
Especially
well
what Priest of
costed.
the Feast does for yourself. You get
So
a
it's
whole
like
lot of health
6-10
back and really
stats. This is
pile
great
on.
again. Yeah. All right, next card we have is why did they print this card? But anyway,
Menagerie Warrior.
this card is broken. I'm going to call it right now. This card is completely broken. But we'll give it excellent rating for now. But this is the broken card of the set for mine. I've just looked. I've just seen. I feel like it's just. I don't know about Blizzard here. Choose a friendly minion, summon a copy of it. Yeah, it's just so bad. Like you play the Tiger, it's so non-interactive. You play the Tiger and they can't deal with it because it's in stealth. No many cards can deal with stealth. You drop this on the Tiger, it's 6-10 stats, and you got 2 stealth Tigers on the board, and the game's over. Like I don't know. I like the card. I just feel like it's just too good. Like makes Beast Druid viable. I know they're pushing it, but have they pushed it too far? Like the worst you can get with this, you get a 2-drop, still 6 mana, seven
Well,
seven. Like it's just the best card in the set for mine by far, and puts Beast Druid into a tier 1 deck. Um, it might even run this without Beast Druid. You may just play this as a one of in another deck just because you have Druid of the Core. Even playing Druid of the Core with this is pretty powerful too, right? So yeah, I love this card, but yeah, it's a risky card to print. A lot of pros are saying it's pretty broken too, but we'll see how we go. It's just the worst thing I'm really disappointed about it is the Tiger stealth, and it's not interactive. If someone plays a Tiger and you play it on turn 6, you can't deal with any of their minions except for the 5/5. So
that could be the thing.
depends how consistently that
So
happens, but yeah, even if you get a, I think they said if you get the 2 mana card, oh, I can't even think of that card either. The 2 mana one with
there's a lot to
charge.
consider with this, and another thing too about this is that this will soak up any buff you apply to it. So let's say you played Fanduel Strayhawk, right?
Yeah.
Strayhelm, and then you play Druid of the Flame, and you buff that with Mark of Yasharaj. In the following like turn or so, you just throw that down. You're gonna have another 7/7 on it.
Yeah, so that's the
So
thing. It keeps buffs too, so you can also play Marco Siraj with the Tiger or something and play that, and it's just brutal.
so I
The,
rank this card a 1. This card
It's
is
obviously a
absolutely
one. If people don't
insanely
rank this a one,
powerful.
then it's complaints. This is one card in the set. If someone doesn't rank this a one, there's something wrong with them. I'm not joking. Like it's seriously a one
This
every day of the
is
week. This is like a
yeah, this
zero. This is
card is
nearly a
actually
zero. This is nearly off the chart. This is nearly off the ranking system. But anyway, we'll
it just
keep.
about is off the rankings. It's
Well,
huge.
so maybe we're overrating it. Maybe it's not going to be
The
consistent
big
enough.
thing
But
though is that let's think about this carefully. This is a tool that's powerful enough that now Beast Druid has the same 2 powerful tools that Hunter has. Because Hunter had Kill Command and they've got Houndmaster. And now Beast Druid has Mark Yasharaj and they have Menagerie Warden. And it's going to make Beast Druid
I'm
a
definitely I see Beast Druid a tier deck
much
now.
better
Definitely.
deck and a much better archetype. And I believe
I
it's going to
think
be a
Beast Druid
valuable
could
deck.
be better than Yogg Druid. That's my opinion right now. I think it's quicker and it's more consistent. But we'll see.
Yeah, it might end up pushing out that token Druid deck we see a lot right now.
Yeah, I think it's going to spawn a new deck. I just don't see how it doesn't with all the set we got now. All right, next card. We only got a few to go now. Purify,
Oh
yay!
boy,
Nah.
it's Purify.
Well, I didn't give this one chance ranking because I had a little bit of thought. I was playing my Science Priest deck on rank last night, and having more Science effects in the deck makes that deck a bit more consistent. The reason why people are so angry at this card, which I didn't realize at the stage, is it's not a terrible card that people are saying. It's more that they need this card at this stage of the game. They wanted something more competitive.
The problem is that Priest has so many gimmicks, and let's talk about the deck. The
So
reason
I
why
gave this
Priest is the best
this is the
fails
worst
is it
rating
just
of the set. I
it
gave this
fails
a
because it's
poor
so
rating.
hard, not even just the
Um,
metagame around it.
I think it was Decides Ghost that was right. He reckons that someone will get Legend. His prediction someone will get Legend with Purifier Priest, which is going to be amazing when that happens. Because I was playing the Silence deck last night, and the 2 mana 4/5 when you silence it. If you play the two, I disagree when people say it's a Yeti. Why would you play Yeti? You play a 2 mana 4/5, you Purify the next turn, you draw a card, you cycle your deck, you trade into something. It's pretty. The more silence effects you have in one deck, the more deck becomes consistently, because then you're not waiting on
Think of it
yourself.
this: a 2 mana 4/5 with Overload 2 and draw a card.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't think it's overload too because this cycles itself, so it's not taking a card slot in your deck in a
Well,
way.
yeah, but you're spending a 2 mana the following turn, so that's why I consider Overload 2. So you play it on turn 2, then turn 3 you Purify.
Oh
So
yeah,
you're
that's true.
spending the 2 mana.
And this works really well with Barnes. There's another combo with Barnes, so you Barnes and then you silence the Barnes minion, which is going to happen pretty often. Barnes is guaranteed to get a 1/1 out of your deck because you silence the minion, so you get like Deathwing and a 12/12 on turn 4, not bad. This is obviously turn 6, but it makes it more consistent because someone was running Silence Priest, the pro was running it, and it makes it more consistent. It's just not what Priest needed right now, but I don't think it's a bad card. A lot of people have still rated it good. It's just not, the reason we're rating it poor is because Priest didn't need this right now. So, your ranking on the card, as you can see, like it's
Yeah, it's pretty obvious that I rank this complete total garbage.
yeah.
Well, okay, Silence Priest is probably the only archetype you can play that anymore, as Handlock has been rooted into the ground, and we
And
lost
Silence
Owl on
Priest,
top of that.
I played on ladder with Silence Priest, and it's actually they got some pretty good 2-drops in Eerie Statue, and you got some, and Barnes makes it more viable now too. So
But the
maybe that
primary
becomes a
problem
deck.
is it's probably not going to be that great against faster decks in the same way Handlock had the same problem. We just share so many things and similarities with Handlock.
Yeah.
that it's probably not going to make it to a tier 1 or meta
The thing
relevant
is,
deck. And
this
the con
card
was
can't
that we
be
only
any.
had 3 cards, and the
This.
other 2 didn't help against aggro, and this doesn't help Priest either. And Priest
Yeah.
is such as a class where it's not bad because other decks have press Priest. It's bad because they don't have the tools to make the cards work thematically. They're all over the place,
And the Blizzard tried to print this at 1 minute. It'd be too. It says it's too easy to cycle in combo decks, which I
and
agree with. It
it's
can't
no
be
wonder
one
why
minute. It
people are
can't. It'd have to
so
be one and
upset
a half
about
minute.
this.
To me, this card would only be balanced at 1.5 minutes. It can't be 1 minute because it's too easy to just 1 minute draw a card. Like instead, they tried that out in their testing. It was too broken because you could just 1 minute draw a card and people just play it as
Yeah,
extra cycle.
and then there was a read on top of that, which is why people were especially pissed because
Yeah, well
if you
now
get
it's
stuck
not
between
come.
like Priest and like Hunter
Yeah, so the good thing is it's not an
and you
arena
have to pick
anymore.
Priest,
Yeah, it's not in the arena
then
anymore, so it makes it a little bit better. So anyway, enough about Purifier because I'm sick of hearing it all week. But anyway, we'll move on to another card. Purifier's been like the whole talk this whole week, and respectably as well. I misunderstood it
so
first.
we got
Ironforge
Iron
Portal.
Forge
Yeah,
Portal.
this is weird because a lot of people rating this card bad. They're like, oh, this card's 5 minute worse than Shield Maiden. It's gain 4 armor, summon a random forecast move. Average one random
Well,
forecast move
it's
is like
1 mana
4/3.
less, so
It's
you
one
get
mana
one
mesh
less,
you
but
get.
you're playing it faster too. So
You
you're depleting
don't
on turn
probably
5 or
don't
turn
quite get the
6.
body. You probably get an average maybe 4/3 body. I'd have to work at the random forecast minions. Oh, maybe 4/5. I think 4/5 it is. So you get one less body. So yeah, it's pretty close to Shield Maiden. Really, it really is close. It's pretty.
Standard is also a lower power level, so I think it balances out. And Warrior
Yeah.
needed
So
this
I reckon this is
badly
an
to
excellent
do its
card, and that
role.
this the game puts Reno Warrior deck because this is a good Reno card. You got the Fool's Bane, you play this and that Fool's Bane, and then you got Reno Warrior's looking like a big thing. Reno decks are looking like a big thing this whole set. There's a lot of good Reno cards. So excellent card. Yeah, pretty easy to explain this one. Shield Maiden pretty much. And also another one to explain it is it's in GVG is the Sky Golem. It was a 6 mana 6/4 summon a random 4 cost minion. This is that's the random 4 cost minion effect, but it's probably
There's
an average
something
of
more to this
4/5.
to consider also, and that's it's a spell, not a minion. So if
Makes
you're
Yogg Warrior.
playing a
I saw
slower deck,
someone
it
was
doesn't
playing
make Mirror Entity as bad of a situation, and we all know how bad Mirror Entity is for
I
one.
know someone on ranked the other day was playing Yogg Warrior. They reckon they got to legend with it, so that's interesting. Yogg Warrior could be a thing too. More spells help Warrior for that archetype, but we'll see. All right. Anyway, what's your ranking, Cage?
Ranked to the 1.
1. All right. And you gave your reasons pretty much. So we'll move on to the next
Yeah.
card. Next card
All
is
right.
Runic
We
Egg.
have
I'm just checking where we're up to.
Runic Egg.
So we got 3 cards to go. So Runic Egg, a cool card. This looks like it fits in Buffetin or Paladin or Aggro Paladin because you can buff it, trade, get a card draw. It's pretty good in that sort of deck. I think it gave us a good rating because I think it is viable. I don't think Zoo can run it. Like it's just draw a card. Zoo doesn't help. So I think Paladin. I think Paladin's where it runs in because you've got Abusive Sergeant. You've got what's that 1 mana 1/2 card? I don't know the name of it. You know the 1/2 buffs it by 1/2 1 mana card. The
You
new
mean
spell.
2 and a 1/2 Joust card there.
No, not the Joust
I
card.
forget what it's called. He's still called like a Jouster, but he doesn't joust.
No, not the Joust card. The 1 mana spell that gives it minion. It's like Power of Shield, but it's for Paladin.
Oh, yeah, the 1 mana Paladin spell.
Yeah, that would be good combo with this. I feel like that's a good trade up, good value card. Makes it a 1/4. Or Abusive Sergeant and stuff. I also see this in Shaman with Flame Tongue Totem. Shaman with Flame Tongue Totem makes it 2/2 for 1, which is not too bad, right?
So, what is this? It's a balanced Nerubian Egg.
Yeah.
That is what this card is. It's Nerubian Egg with balance.
Yeah. All right. So
It just triggers buffs. It triggers all those good stuff. And it draws you a card top of that. It could even block AoE kind of because you draw a card, but not in the unfair way that Nerubian Egg did.
yeah.
So I like it. It's a pretty good card.
Yeah,
Maybe
good as
about
well.
2.
Yep. All right, next card we have, and a few. I think there's 2 to go now. I'll tell you when it's the last one. Moat Luca. I love again, Blizzard. I love your design. I'll give you like 10 out of 10 for the design of that card. Destroy a minion, death row, resummon it. This is another one you can silence too. Some really cool combos you can do with this. If you shadow step it in Rogue, you can get rid of the. If you kill a minion and shadow step it, it's a pretty cool combo too. I thought about that the other day. There's a lot of combos with this deck, but even if the best combo is Sylvanas, right? You play Sylvanas turn 6, you destroy your own Sylvanas, steal them, and you get another copy of Sylvanas. When this dies, that's really powerful. It helps in the Zoth decks be more consistent, I think too. So, this is a good card. Not excellent because it's requires, but if it just said destroy a minion and no death rattle, this card would be better than Big Game Hunter. Like just destroy a minion and that's it.
Yeah, this card would be just unfair. sure.
But Shadow Step does look good in Rogue. Rogue does play the Blade of Cthulhu, like in some this run, so this could be like a replacement for that. Shadow Stepping it's really powerful though, because you could kill one of their minions and Shadow Step it, get a 4-cost one, and then go again. So yeah, it's a pretty cool card. What are your thoughts, Cage?
So this card is really unique. It can be used to just kill something. It can be used to trigger combos involving death rattle. It can be used for so many ways. You can silence it. You can use it to resummon something that's a trigger card. It
Ooh.
just works so
I thought of a
many
combo I
ways.
didn't think of before. In Hunter, you play high main and then you kill your own high main.
Like you could throw this down and like play Void Terror and like destroy it and buff the Void Terror and like get like another Death Rattle minion back, and this can just get way out of control.
I like in on Hunter,
It's
maybe you play
really
like
interesting,
play
but it's also
Nazoth,
really balanced.
play Nazoth Hunter and then you kill your own high main and then you get high main back when it dies. Oh boy, that'd be awkward for your opponent.
I do kind of like that, but I
It's
don't
not really a
know.
good deck, but
Is
well, I'll have to
Benchmark
experiment
Blend
with this
better than
card. Some of
that?
these cards are hard
It's
to
kind of hard to
evaluate
say.
because you got to experiment with them. But
And in Arena, this is going to be one of those staple rares like NTC.
yeah.
You're just going to start seeing
Anyway,
these show up. So
we only got a couple of cards to go, so we'll move on. The next card we have is Arcano Smith, and this is the card I think should come out in the set. I think this card's actually a lot better than people think it is. This card can fit. This is like it can be compared to heal bot in a way because you can use the zero
I
five as
kind of
5
hope I
heal.
don't see this showing up in two
I feel
decks.
like this is really bad. Yeah, Zoo just don't go there. But yeah, I gave this card good. A lot of people said this was like poor card, but I think this is actually a really good card because the 0-5 taunt is really annoying for your opponent. And if you play this against aggro, maybe like you could use it as 5 heal because if they run 5 mid damages, it's like healing for 5. So it's like 4-3 that heals for 5, which is not pretty bad, pretty good. Anyway, what are your thoughts, Cage?
This card is just annoying. I mean, this card just, especially in Arena, let's just think about that. Because this is where I feel its strength greatest. Arena is such a tempo game right now that if you fall behind, you lose. But if you like, let's say you have 1 minute on board, you play this guy in turn 4. Now they can't trade into your stuff anymore. And you can just turn around and control the board, and they might not even ever take control it back ever again. This card might be just infuriating in
I
a
like Paladin could work as well. You got
and
Blessing of
in
Kings the taunt.
Paladin,
Oh
like
my gosh,
anywhere really.
What happens if you're
This
Blessing of
is a
Kings that
buff
taunt though?
target.
It's like a 4-9 taunt.
Yeah,
It's like a wall.
anywhere you like, it's a buff target. It's like it just pisses off the opponent. It stops
Like I
trading.
still think people don't think
It
I see
defends
this I
itself.
see this can be played in Zoo because you can play. I mean, there's not many great. There's Defender, but you could play one of these instead of Defender because protection minions probably more than Defender sometimes because that zero
Will we
five.
see this in constructed? We might. Will this
Yeah,
be in arena? It will be. Oh
yeah,
boy.
it'd be so annoying. All right, both good ratings there. Next card is last card. I'm pretty sure. Yep, this is the last one. It's a good one to save last too. I love this card. Violet Illusionist. During your turn, your heroes immune. This is just amazing. Another cool design by Blizzard. So makes weapon classes like Philsbane if you really want to go for that combo. Maybe Reno deck you have that Philsbane combo, but maybe I think it's a bit clunky that. But weapon classes, Rogue could probably play this. Warrior. I think you could even play it in like a Reno decks because making a hero, if you've killed all their threats and then you have this, you can never lose to fatigue. This is an immune of fatigue
The
deck.
big thing about this card is that it gives
Whoops.
you free life tap. It gives
And so
rogues
I gave this card
banishless
excellent.
pings
I gave this card like
and gives
excellent.
warriors damageless weapon hits. It's got a lot of synergy. It's super powerful and it's deceivingly powerful. It
And it's
doesn't look like
one of the
it's that
strongest
great,
cards
but
in fatigue. You cannot lose on fatigue with this card because if they
this
run out
can
of threat,
protect you from fatigue. It can give you free life taps. It's just there's so many ways you can use this
I don't
card
know. Maybe
to
this.
value
I think Rita Lock can play this, but not. I don't think Zoo can play it. But maybe Zoo can somehow. It's a 3-mana 4/3, so the stats are good for Zoo
it
because they
really
want high
not a zoo
attack.
card, but let's say you have Gorehowl equipped. And you
Yeah,
play this the following turn and you smash into like something that's like a 7/7.
yeah. It's
That is
so much
brutal.
tempo.
You didn't get punished for Gorehowl at all. They have to deal with that, and you can just for free whack
And
at
the stats are
everything you
really good.
want.
A 3-mana, like people saying that 3/4 would be better stats, but I disagree. I think 3-mana 4/3 is actually. I like the higher stats more than the 3/4 of this card.
I
The
like it
trade.
better for this card because it's a tempo card. You throw it down, you kill something, or you life tap, and it just becomes irritating. Now they have to get
And
rid of it.
so
Now
yeah,
they
your
have to.
review on the card Cage, and that'll be the last one. So think carefully about it.
So I'm ranking this a 1
Yeah.
because it has a lot of synergies and it's really splashable. It makes an excellent tech card for a lot of decks.
Yeah.
And it also could be really irritating in arena, especially if you're a rogue or a warlock. This card is really great. I absolutely love it.
Yep. So that's all
All right, so
that's all the reviews done. Thanks everyone for watching. We'll just do our top five cards. I'll go through my top five, I think, of the set. We'll start with Violet Illusionist. I think that's one of my favorite cards. We got Barnes, Medivh. The new Dragon Paladin card's got to be on there for me, just because it's just amazing. And then the last one for me is the Prince card, Prince Malgazar, if I pronounce that correctly. What about you, Cage? What are your top five cards of the set?
well, my top five cards would be obviously the Nightbane Templar. I would put Arcane Giant, the Swashbuckler. I would do. I'm thinking I'd probably put in the Menagerie Warden, obviously. And for the last one, I think it would be Medivh himself because he
Hmm.
combos so well with all the stuff in the stack.
Yep. All right. Thanks. This has been Nathan. This is Cage. Thanks everyone for watching. I'll be streaming No Man's Sky tomorrow, so if anyone wants to tune and watch that, I'll be streaming probably all day, playing that for a bit. So I can't wait to play that as well. Yeah, thanks for watching our review. Any thoughts? Just post in the comments. Anything you want to say, Cage?
Uh, no, not really. Thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll see you again soon.